nobody with it. Well, there's one person there, and 12 people here.
They said Vegas is going to be slow.
I'm sure it's slow.
Two of my friends had booked Italy, which is closed down, and one of them had a trip to France. All three canceled. Because they're afraid they can't get back into the country.
Right, that's right. So Ross brought it up a good here.
And Italy is closed down.
The reason Italy, South Korea, and China are having so many, the death percentage is so much, a lot of smokers.
Could be.
Respiratory issue.
This report is sponsored by
but they're still older people, right? Aren't they still older people?
There are some young people there.
I mean, if you had, what's it called, the spray shit, asthma, you'd probably be really hurting, man.
Sure, absolutely.
And then here in Colorado, there's altitude on top of that.
If you keep your,
what happens if you have one lung?
Well, then obviously you're more susceptible to it, but there aren't that many people.
So it has nothing to do with age.
What if you don't have a lung?
Yeah, it has a lot to do with
it. Well, then you're an amphibian. So then you just go in the water and you're okay.
What if you have gills? Like Aquaman.
Does Aquaman truly have gills, though?
He has both.
But he has lungs.
He has both.
How do I?
No, I mean lungs. Fish have lungs.
You know, as long as you keep the asthma, if you take your inhaler and keep your alveoli open, then you're at the same place as somebody else. But it's the mucus that accumulates in your alveoli.
I don't sign a check. They call and say, should we clear the check? They call me personally. You know what I mean?
Babe, can you text Mike or whoever and have him reboot this thing?
Wow.
However this thing gets rebooted.
I would do it for $4,500.
What?
They'll give you the virus and they test you as far as your immune and stuff as basically a guinea pig.
And what if you don't have the immunity? Then you get the virus and you're fucked.
No, you're not. As long as you're healthy.
I wouldn't deliberately
cancel that. Cancel it.
And you'd be under the care of a doctor.
That's true. But John, I was going to say something yesterday about this toilet paper shit, and Ross brought it up. You don't get diarrhea from the virus. I don't know why these people. I remember you were talking yesterday about toilet paper being produced in South Korea or China.
Japan.
Ross said he listed 10 of the biggest toilet paper companies. They're all produced in the USA.
I wonder why it said. Maybe the paper comes from there.
He said
we just Googled it. It came up Japan.
Japan what?
Makes more toilet paper than anybody.
Well, talk to Ross this afternoon.
Maybe because they're supplying China and there's more people over there.
Good day.
Ross on his show today, he talked to him at racquetball.
But I couldn't understand why they ship in big boxes.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the only show anywhere, your headquarters for the coronavirus, where you're going to get real information, not hyped bull crap. Real information from our medical experts as well as our travel experts, our financial experts. I'm serious now. I'm not telling you this is nothing, but I'm telling you that it is exaggerated, way out of proportion. The flu kills more people. There are many things killing more people that we're not paying attention to. We'll get to that. RealCBDthatworks.com. Real CBD. It's not going to do anything for the coronavirus. But real CBD, seriously, it'll quell your anxiety, help you sleep. I've been taking that sleep formula, Dan. I love it. Did you run out of your sleep formula? I'll get you more.
Okay.
No, seriously, it's good stuff, man. And then they have the anti-inflammatory properties depending on what you get. I sent some to my sister-in-law for her horse. I got to get a report on that. 303-713-TALK. Now, to order Real CBD, get 20% off, I believe. You can still use that code. It's Martino. You go to realcbdthatworks.com. realcbdthatworks.com. Part of Panacea Life Sciences right here in Golden. Amanda, what's going on with you, Amanda? What's happening? How can we help you?
So I just kind of wanted to touch base with you guys.
Yeah, what's going on?
Recently broke my foot, and I went to Littleton Adventist Hospital.
Okay.
And I'll kind of give you the backstory, and then I'll get into what the issue is. So I broke my foot on a Sunday.
Yeah.
They referred me to go to an orthopedic doctor to get either a boot put on it or a cast put on it, and they put like a temporary split on my foot.
Okay.
So Monday comes around. I call over to the orthopedic doctor that they referred me to. on my sheet of paper that they had given me, I need to see this orthopedic doctor within 5 days. This doctor wasn't available within 5 days. It would have been about 7 to 8 days if I do my math right. And I called back Littleton Hospital to let them know that I can't follow their orders to see this doctor and I need to get referred to a new one. So I get put on hold and I get connected to the nurse assistant manager who starts telling me about their policy. And their policy is that they have to refer the patient after they checked out to go and see a primary doctor to get diagnosed with the same thing, to get referred to a different orthopedic doctor.
Well, yeah, no matter what their policy is, the bottom line is this. Yeah. Did they treat you for the broken foot? Did they put you in a splint at least?
Yeah, they put me in the splint.
Okay. So what you do after that, they may have any kind of recommendation in the world, but normally what people do is they only go to the emergency room for emergencies, and then they go see their primary care doc, and then they're referred to a specialist if they need it. That's the normal process. But I don't know where we're going with what happened. What went wrong?
So what went wrong is I was trying to explain to this lady that, you know, I just spent $300 on this ER visit because it was an emergency.
Yeah.
And I'm just asking for a different orthopedic doctor. I can't drive with this broken foot because it's
okay,
my right
so
foot.
Because you spent, I'm trying to understand. When I ask questions, it's because I want to understand. Because you spent $300, which by the way is very cheap. That was your copay for the ER. The bill was more like $15,000. But if you paid whatever, you felt they had an obligation to supply you with a referral, right?
No, well, at first I did, but when they told me their policy, I totally understood it. It was the way that I was spoken to.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, and by the way, just so people know, policies mean what does the hospital do for discharged patients? All ERs have discharge instructions. Every single discharge instruction will tell you to go see a doctor. Every one of them. They will never tell you, don't worry, you're fine. Even for people that have anxiety attacks that go in there thinking they're having heart issues. When you leave, they say, it looks like you were having a anxiety attack. However, you should see your primary care. They always tell you that. And they do that to cover themselves. Now, the fact that they gave you a name of an ortho to go see, that's odd, by the way. I didn't know this. You got a direct referral to an ortho from an ER doc, and that might be because it was obviously broken. So they figured, why go through your primary care? But when that ortho wasn't available, that's where you felt, and I will get to the politeness and the rudeness after this, the courtesy, but that's where you felt if you called back, they should have said, oh, we're sorry, because they knew you had to see a doctor within 5 days. They should have said, how about this doctor? That's where the policy comes in. What was their policy that they what were they supposed to do when the doctor they referred you to could not see you? What were they supposed to do?
I was just asking them if I could go to that same center that they had sent me to, because obviously they like that doctor or they work with him, and see a different doctor. And
you
when
couldn't
they
see
told
any
me no, I'd
doctor
have
in
to
the
go and see
city.
a primary, I understand that.
Our deputy doc just said you could have seen any doctor you wanted. You didn't have to go back to the hospital to ask them, who else can you see? You could have gone to your primary care, or you could have called your primary care and said, who can I go see? But here's what I want to know. Your complaint is about how you were treated more than anything, right?
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
So when I was talking to the nurse assistant manager, she was just very rude, saying that this is our policy, it's done. So I said, okay, so I have to go to a primary to get referred to an orthopedic. I didn't know that I don't need an actual referral for an orthopedic doctor.
Okay.
She got very snippy with me. And
you know what?
Yes, so
I'll tell you what, that's the way it is. You know, Amanda, I wish I had an answer for it. But if you talk to the advocate at Littleton, each one has a patient advocate, they will take that seriously. They do take complaints seriously. Plus on...
They don't, though.
Well, they actually do. You may not think they're doing it with you, but if you put in a complaint, actually take the time to write a complaint to the patient advocate. They will talk to that person. They will. And if you do online reviews, that's another big deal. This has given consumers a lot of power. What would you like us to do? I don't mind calling the patient advocate saying, look, this was serious enough, she called us. But I want to know, were you really rude or were you just sensitive? Was
No, I wasn't rude at all.
I meant, was she really rude? Was she really rude?
She was rude. She was rude, and I know rude from sensitive, like I get it, but I emailed the hospital, I emailed them through Facebook, I wrote a review, I took the time, I got called by a patient advocate person.
Good, and what happened?
Then I got hung up on by that person. They were not taking my complaint seriously.
You were hung up by a patient advocate person?
Yes.
Come on, really?
To me when this happened.
Well, maybe she was a little aggressive.
Amanda, why'd they hang up on you? Really, why was it a mistake or did they hang up on you?
No, she said that if I didn't become professional, I wasn't cursing, I wasn't yelling at her, I was
but you're obviously emotional. Yes, I know what you mean. I don't care about that. But
I still don't understand the problem. What's the problem? She's upset.
Rude. They were rude.
Okay.
They were rude, impolite. Right. You know what, Mark?
Then hang up on her.
No. You know, Amanda, she's talking about the first time she talked to the hospital. I get you, Amanda, and really I do. And you know what? I know that after you have to explain it, it sounds almost like you're being petty, but you're not. And I will tell you, I identify with you because I have had people be rude to me and I want to report it. And then after a few days, it's kind of like when you report it, it's almost like you're a nitpicking complainer, and you're not. I get it. At the time, you're thinking, wait a minute. You know, all you need is a little civility here. You are absolutely right about the healthcare industry. There are two kinds of people in the healthcare industry, I find. I find rude and I find overly polite. I mean, I don't know why that happens that way.
Tom, I got to tell you.
I totally agree with you. And you know who else is like this, Amanda? They're rude just for the sake of being rude, damn it, and I'm tired of them. And that's anyone with an airline or TSA. Why the hell these people feel they have to be rude? I'm not talking about the flight attendants on the flight. They're very polite. I'm talking about the whole airport process. These people are just rude ass.
I'll tell you
wipes.
why.
I'm tired of them.
I'll tell you why. Why? Because if you sit there, a DIA going through security, they must tell people 1,000 times, laptops out, shoes off, blah, 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 and there's always some jerk off that doesn't listen, and eventually they're going, how many times you got to tell these people?
Let me ask you something, Mark. What is the downside to being polite?
They just get beat down.
I know.
Having to say the same damn thing every day.
But sometimes I get tired of it. I swear to God that there's one gate attendant, and I was like Amanda. I wanted to complain. Then, as I'm even telling you now, it sounds petty, but she goes like this to me. My wife has both boarding passes on her phone, right? So I'm standing next to her. She scans one, and then she's getting the next one. And the woman looks at me and says, "Stand over here," and she points to a spot. I swear to God, and I'm thinking, it's 3 feet away from my wife, and I'm thinking, we're putting our boarding passes, and so I thought she meant, I don't know what she meant. I thought, like, why over there? Because she had already done my boarding pass. She wanted me past the podium, I guess, because she had already cleared me. But she hadn't cleared Steph. So Steph takes the other one, and I hadn't gotten over there. And she goes, I said, stand over here now. Now, I think to myself, come on, people.
But, Tom, you're confusing people who have a little bit of power, who want to exercise power. I can tell you from personal experience that both the hospitals I worked at,
people are rude.
They constantly told people, personal service.
I know.
And
they get, like Mark said, they get run down.
No. But they say, look, people can go to any hospital, be nice to people, customer service over and over again. And I can't imagine why.
No, but they don't. That's the thing. Healthcare industry, TSA, who else?
That woman was complaining about something that this woman she was talking to had no power over. I think it came down to dollars.
The woman was rude. Ask Amanda what she wants us to do. If she wants us to call, we will, or whatever. It came down to dollars. I'm tired of people being rude, though. I really am.
But I'm telling you,
fucking tired of it.
Constantly
You're rude. No, I'm not. I'm never rude in public. No, I'm not. Actually.
They were constantly telling the nurses and the doctors, you know.
No, I am not rude. I do not believe in being rude. People will tell you that, man.
But in Denver, it's such a competitive market that the hospital administrators...
Mark, yesterday, all the spots, right? I'll just say yes, you did. You know what you're doing, okay?
Do you usually do them at the beginning of a break or at the end?
Shit, I do them everywhere.
Okay.
Everywhere. Everywhere. Oh, I screwed up on one so bad.
Did you do the equivalent of 415s for Panacea?
No. The equivalent, yeah.
Okay.
I talked about it.
Because you don't have to do more than that. You did more than
a minute.
Yeah, because really they have two 30s, which is I break up into headlines. Okay.
Same with who's the other one?
I don't call them 30s or 60s. I call them units.
What is the other one?
The only one that has units.
SaferNet.
Yeah, SaferNet has. Oh yeah, you had them yesterday. That's good. Yeah, but they have just a normal unit. So you did those yesterday, Pat.
I fucked up.
You know, SaferNet. I was wrong. It must have been something with the network. I can go anywhere I want, and I'm not getting interfered with. That one time, I was getting all kinds of interference.
I called what's his face, Brandon Sigley. Brandon, I called.
How's he doing?
I don't know. No. I mean, I called Blake. Brandon.
Oh.
I didn't have any of it up.
What did he say?
And Angie's like, okay, boom, now. Well, he didn't say anything, so after I fucked it all up when I went back to the show, I just redid the spot.
Okay. Does he know you did that? You redid it?
Oh, I doubt it.
Well, he wasn't on.
Oh, he wasn't on. Never mind. Okay.
No, he wasn't on at all. I just had no bullet points up on him. I had nothing. And, the spot started.
I've made $1.96 so far on Quora.
Wow.
Excellent.
If I can get that up to $2, I'm
Excellent.
You're going to get a 1099 from them?
You know what, though? I found out the scam. You know how you make money not by answering, by asking.
What
Really?
audio do you want?
If your questions generate traffic, you get money.
Really?
Not
Good
your
question.
answers.
Some of those, like say one about the pigs.
But but I found out how they do it. You're allowed to post your question anonymously.
Okay.
And so they post questions they know the answers to get it started. I know they do. They even said behind the scenes in the newsletter you're allowed to do that. What were you saying, Mark? What were you saying?
Did you hear that one? There's one
I thought you were telling me something on your phone.
No, it wasn't. I thought it was you.
Did the Romans used to light pigs on fire, to
Right.
light their things? They did.
Really?
They did it because a lot of the people they were had elephants that were coming at them. And elephants would trample people like that.
Right.
What's it got to do with the pigs?
So they would light the pigs on fire, and the pigs would run at the elephants screaming, and the elephants would get scared and turn around and trample their own people. Oh, that's fucking great. I know.
Gotcha.
Pretty cool.
We should try that at a zoo.
We should try that at riots. Have a riot, have a bunch of pigs here. Okay, you start.
Yeah, I wonder what they do.
Well, if that's the case,
guys,
Tar.
BecomeTheBanker.org is the website for Become the Banker. Now, Become the Banker is a financial strategy using life insurance. Listen, it works. It's not the only investment you should have, but it's one you can get started with no matter how much money you have. Become the Banker. But I like Joe and Jordan Keano because you know what? They have proven to me that they are financial advisors. They truly have taught me a lot, especially when it comes to annuities. You can trust them as financial advisors, not just Become the Banker. And they can teach you also how to get out of debt. BecomeTheBanker.org. Find out about their next seminar, 303-779-6600.
Yeah, because elephants,
Isn't that cool?
They wouldn't even.
do you have an annuity, Tom?
An elephant be smart enough
I'm getting
to
one.
step on it, but it
The ones that they have, I swear to God, I can't poke holes in it. But some of them suck so bad.
I bought one, I'm getting 8%. I just put 300 grand in, and it gives me 8 when I was 72, and now it looks like a great deal with the market doing what it is. But I'm guaranteed 8%, and I'm happy with that.
God, they'd be lit on
So
fire.
sometimes the annuities are as part of your portfolio.
You know what I was afraid of? Because of my pension and my 401k and
Aren't
well, my
elephants
pension's
afraid
the
of
only
mice,
income.
too?
401k can be anything you want it to be.
And
I'm
you
afraid I get too much
Light a mouse on
income
fire.
and not enough liquid. Do you know what I'm saying? Income based?
Yeah.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK. Listen, I want to talk about rudeness for a second. There's no downside to being polite.
Well, if someone else, though, is being rude to you, you generally will be
for
rude
sure.
back.
For sure.
Well, that's why
But-
it generally happens.
But I don't think so. Honest to God, I don't think so.
Or they're just in a bad mood.
But here's what I think, okay? I'm a weird one. I think that I want to be nice to everybody, but you're exactly right. I react the way I'm treated, but then I think maybe they're having a bad day, and if I just turn it around and shift that paradigm, that'll shift their day. So I tried it the other way. But I just had what they say, an ass full of it. I'm sorry. Okay? If you don't like my expressions, I'm sorry. I'm from New York, all right? Here's the bottom line. I don't like rudeness. And I'm sick and tired of people being rude. And Amanda struck a nerve with me. Okay, it may not be a big deal. She went to the urgent care and then went back, or emergency room, went back to talk to him, and they're just rude. Why? They don't have to be rude. And you know what? TSA workers are the worst. Not all of them, of course, okay? But you know what I have found, Mark? I swear to you, if one person is rude in an organization, it can paint a picture of the organization to you.
Oh,
have you
definitely.
ever been treated badly by just one person, but you will never go back to that place just because you're pissed off at how they treated you?
Yeah, a lot of times it comes from the top.
It happened to me with Diamond Shamrock. When I was getting fuel and I swiped my card, it didn't go through. I didn't know that. I put gas in, right? Then I'm getting ready. I started getting ready to leave. I had swiped my card. And then the guy says, hello, sir, are you going to pay? And I said, oh, I swiped my card. He said, it didn't go through. And I said, oh, I didn't realize that. He goes, yeah, right, buddy. It's like, why do you have to say that, you little jerk? And I said, excuse me, why the hell would I swipe my card? Just for grins, look on the camera. You can see me swiping my card.
So you were trying to gas and go
right,
and got caught.
Yeah. But anyway, I just got so pissed. I have never to this day been back to a Diamond Shamrock. And it's not Diamond Shamrock's fault. The jerk doesn't even work there anymore. Anyway, what's going on with you, Carolyn? What's happening?
Hi. I've been a victim of identity theft.
How do you know?
My husband and I were paying our bills on the first of the month like we always do.
Yeah.
We got to go pay my credit card, and I noticed that my credit score had lowered significantly.
Okay. How'd they get your identity? Do you know?
I have no clue.
But you know for sure that they have it.
Yes. There was a loan taken out in May of last year for $3,500, May of 2019. There was 5 months of payments made, and then there were no payments made.
I get it.
From October.
I get it. So listen, the loan. Let's just get right to the theft. The loan was taken out for what?
$3,500.
No, but do you know what it was for? Do you know who it's from? Do you know the creditor? Yes, you do.
Yes.
Who's the creditor?
It's called the Lending Club.
You have to go to the lender, and you have to get this cleared up with the lender.
Right. I contacted the lender. I contacted them on March the 2nd.
And they have to clear this up with your identity and your credit. But you also have to put a freeze on your credit now. That requires a PIN number.
What did the lender say?
After I told them I was disputing this, they wouldn't really give me a lot of information.
Well, because it's not yours. As long as they take it off your credit, who cares? But I mean, I shouldn't say it like that. You want to know who did it, but Karen, it could be anybody. As long as you caught it, it's not.
Did they take it off your credit? What did they say? Did they say, okay, we'll handle it? What did they say?
They said they were going to research it and be in contact with me within the next 30 days.
They might not do anything.
No, they probably. Have they done anything? Have they done anything?
Not so far. Not so far, no.
Is it still on your credit?
Yes, it is.
No, you have to contact your credit reporting agency to get it off, for sure.
How do you prove? It brings up an interesting question.
You can't prove it. How do you prove
it's not you?
You can't prove it, but they have to prove it. Now, here's the problem.
Don't they have to prove that it is her?
Well, they're going to have her address, social security number.
Exactly. So the question is this. What happens when there's a dispute? The problem with the credit reporting industry in general is that they don't verify. They're supposed to. But if someone ever wanted to do a class action suit, this is an area where they breach their responsibilities. They do not investigate. Their idea of an investigation or a verification is simply asking the creditor if it's correct. They take no documentation. They do nothing. It is a big scam. The credit reporting agency is a big scam. They get paid for doing this, and they do absolutely nothing except take reports. They do nothing to investigate validity.
You know,
they don't.
Here's all they got to figure out is check this out. I went to their website, the Lending Club. So you fill it out online, then you get numerous offers back.
Right. It's like Lending Tree. It's like all of them.
Then the cash is transferred to your bank account. So they know where this damn cash went.
Right.
That's going to be the end of the mystery.
But Carolyn, I do believe they're going to investigate. I do. They have no interest in holding someone responsible who didn't take out a loan.
Ask them those questions.
Okay. So I have it set up on Credit Karma to where I get alerts when anybody inquires about my credit, and I did not get one for this one. So how do I know that they even got a credit report, and is freezing my credit going to help stop this?
Yes, it will. Yes, it will. It will. Have you seen anything else on your credit that's not right?
No, I haven't.
Okay. You caught it in time probably. Now, what I'd like you to do is tell us when you get information on the where the breach was, if you could. They would listen. Give it a few more days or a few more weeks, I should say. They really will investigate, unless they're a scam lender, and they're not.
Carolyn, did you place a fraud alert as well as a credit freeze?
It doesn't matter. She's off now. But what he's saying is put on a credit alert as well as a freeze. Although a freeze really is the most important thing. Really, all an alert does is alert. I don't even know what it does, Mark. What does an alert do?
If someone pulls information, but if you have a freeze, they can't pull it.
Okay, that's what it is. You're either alerted or you can't do it.
No, a freeze prevents somebody from getting your credit report. A fraud alert notifies you if anybody tries to open a credit card in your name.
We understand that, but a freeze also does that.
If you have a freeze on it, Doc, they can't open anything.
Plus, you'll be alerted when they try. Jean has a Social Security scam letter. She says, Jean, what's happening?
Well, I received this letter this morning. It says it's from no-reply at ssa.gov.
Does it say ssa.gov?
Yes, it does.
All right, hold on, because one of the ways Social Security will communicate with you is by mail. So let's ferret through this in a minute.
This is Denver's talk station.
Anybody from getting your credit report.
That's right.
Okay.
Story.
But a fraud alert, if someone goes into Lord & Taylor and tries to open a credit card in your name, so there's two different entities.
But that's right. There are two different
You're missing it, though. You can't open a credit card if your credit's frozen.
An alert
no one can access
An alert
it.
doesn't stop it.
No, but it alerts you that someone tries.
Yeah. But so what? I don't want to be fucked.
But Doc, they can't try if your credit's frozen.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's impossible.
That's what I love.
You could have your credit score could be 100 and you freeze your credit.
Right.
No one's going to give you a credit card unless they can look at your credit.
Right.
It's a pain in the ass. I mean, I lock mine all the time, and anytime I want something, I gotta fucking unlock it.
And it's free if you do it, but it takes a while.
What's that?
To unlock and lock it. It's free. But if you put like a time
a freeze is not free.
Yes, it is.
No,
a fraud alert is
free.
Free.
If you want to do a freeze for like a temporary freeze, they can charge you. But if you put a permanent freeze on it, it's free in Colorado.
That's why they call it freeze, because
it's free.
It's free.
F-R-E-E.
Right.
The freeze is free.
Doc, you want to bet money?
No.
I'll double it.
I fucked one of mine up though, man. I still got to send off a snail mail to unfreeze it now.
Because you forgot that.
I put in the wrong. I put in the code for TransUnion into the other one, whatever it was,
and you were
3 times wrong while I was transgendering. I said, no, I'm Martha. You don't understand.
Tell you what, I go to prison, I'm transgender. I'll guarantee you that.
Well, you will. You'll be a woman if you go to prison.
I'll go over the woman's cell.
You'll be the only woman in the male cell.
Did you see that? They transferred a guy that said he was transgender to women, and the first day he raped a woman.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, what kind of fucking numbskulls would even allow that in the prison system? What are they trying to be politically correct in Alcatraz?
Isn't that crazy?
It's fucking stupid.
But I learned.
You know what?
Or they'll just
Blake
tell
got an
the guys
agency.
you're a woman.
Blake got an agency, and Blake started. They said we're going to do seminars now.
Yeah.
And he was telling me how I met him at the office warming. I said, Blake, don't do seminars. It'll cut down your leads. They'll wait for a seminar or not even go to a seminar, but won't bother calling you because they're figuring, well, I didn't go to the seminar. Exactly that happened. The agency he fired, I told him, it's not going to work. Do not do it.
You have a new one today.
Seminars work for certain things, like you come to bank, but not for an estate attorney.
This is
People don't want to
home.
go there and in the mosque talk about their estate.
This is Homevestors, not Art of Granite.
Who the hell is Homevestors?
Oh, talk to Mark on that.
Oh, it's my new endorsement. Okay, I just didn't get a folder on it. I usually get bullet points. So what do I do now, guys? Where do I find the info?
I sent him an email and left him a message.
But I can bullshit it if you give me a website.
They're We Buy Ugly Homes. That's who they are.
Okay, are you sure we're going to send them to the right place?
Yeah, no, I called the guy.
I know, but you got to help me out here for my spot today.
Oh.
What do I actually do? Give me a real number.
I know. I asked him that.
Okay. We got Wild. It's in the 4th hour, Dano.
Okay.
I just wanted enough to bullshit through this.
Call him again, right.
Like a number to call. And how do they operate? What do they do? Tell me about it.
So they're the ones that go in there.
Do they really buy houses?
Yes.
Okay, but
yes.
they want distressed properties.
Yes.
What do they do? Fix them up and resell?
Or
it doesn't matter, right?
I don't know if they could just do a quick flip.
But they're for real.
They're for real, yes.
Any downside, Mark? I know that you've looked into it, Mark.
What?
Any downside?
Any downside to
Yeah,
what?
to this We Buy Ugly Houses. You checked them out, right?
No, I
Are
didn't
they
check.
real estate?
I know nothing about them.
Well,
I know this. If you're fucking desperate to sell your house, they'll give you a cash offer within a day, I would assume. Let me look.
Within 30 days,
30? That doesn't seem...
How'd you find them, Dano?
They
I love this.
We Buy Ugly Houses for cash. Let me see.
You did the endorsement, Mark, right?
Yeah, and like I say, and they just got the contract back like
Love
2
it.
days ago. And
I need to put them on my endorsement list.
Okay, let's find it here. We Buy Ugly Houses. Let's see. Do you have their phone number? At least give them a fucking phone number.
his. That's what I'm saying. That's what I sent.
What am I doing, dear?
To try to get. I'll get it. I'll keep on trying.
Is this them? Can we tell?
It doesn't say Homevestors? Doesn't that say Homevestors?
Rocky Mountain Retro Foam. What do you think of when I say that? Well, you think of Rocky Mountains, this area. You think of retro, meaning going back, and you think of foam, and that's exactly what you do. You go back in time and re-insulate your home. Retro foam, it's an injection foam. That is not an epoxy. It is not spray-on. It is a foam, like a thick shaving cream, and it is environmentally friendly. They can re-insulate your home that's already built without disrupting your living space. They can do it from outside the home, and it's wonderful. It goes into the wall and fills every nook and cranny. It expands. It's wonderful stuff. It makes your home 50% more energy efficient and 80% more quiet. Rocky Mountain Retro Foam. I've said this before and I mean it. When you look at this video, you will be sold. FoamYourWalls.com. You're even eligible for energy rebates when you do it. Find out more. FoamYourWalls.com.
All right, I'm sending you their website.
Thank you. Because what I do when I have a new
It's
client,
an easy website.
when I have a new client, I work up a whole bunch of stuff, guys. You know. Hey, I'm Tom Martino, and you know what? Here's what I can say without beyond a shadow of a doubt, whether you like me or not, you have to admit this show helps people. So if you can get by the little ticks that you may not like about me, all you have to do is send people my way at 303 Martino, and we will try to solve problems, answer questions, we'll take complaints, and we make referrals via referralist.com. So Jean got a letter from Social Security, she says, or she thinks it's from Social Security. Now, remember, Social Security won't call you. They won't threaten you. They'll never ask for gift cards or anything like that. But they do write to you. That is a legit way they communicate with you. What I need to find out is if what Jean has.
It came in on my business computer at 12:35 a.m.
Oh, this is an email.
Yes, it's an
It's
email.
a scam.
Okay, now, what does it say?
Okay, it says, we would like to remind you to review your Social Security statement online.
Okay.
The statement has important Social Security information and, if applicable, estimates of your future benefits.
And what is the link they give you?
It says...
Is it an actual URL? It's a link, but hidden in there is the URL. Do you know how to read the URL?
Well, no, I don't know what you mean.
Okay, can you forward that email to me?
Okay. To view your most recent statement, please visit www.socialsecurity.gov/review your statement and sign into your account.
Okay, here's what I want. I mean, I'm not saying it's a scam, but it probably is. But why are you saying it's a scam, Doc?
Because I've never heard of Social Security sending an email. They always do it by snail mail.
Yeah.
So that people know who they're dealing with.
Yeah, it is probably a scam, but I would love to see, but you can't scam a real website. You can fish one, you can make one, you can clone one, but that's why I'm anxious to see so I can warn others. So, Jean, what do they want you to do? Simply review the information, right?
They want me to send, let's see, because we added a second method to verify your identification each time you sign into your account.
What email
Okay, what do they want,
from?
though? I need to know what. See, these scams only survive if they get something. They either want information so they can duplicate an identity, or they want money or payment of some kind. What is the ultimate game?
That's what I figured. It says enter your username and password. Enter the security code we send you by text message or email.
Then what?
Depending on your choice.
Then what?
And with instant access to your Social Security statement at any time, you will no longer receive one periodical in the mail.
Okay.
Saving money
You know
and
what?
the environment.
Here's what I want. Suzanne, please help her get that to us. I want her to send the email in whole. I want to just look at these links, and then we can warn others. Now, Cheryl, listen to this one. Cheryl was distressed. And I told Cheryl, you know what, Cheryl? You have to pay it back. There's no way around it. What happened was she was getting PARA. Is that right, Cheryl?
I was getting PARA.
And PARA is a retirement plan for teachers. Isn't that right?
Right. For state employees.
And you were also getting Social Security by mistake. You didn't know better. And they all of a sudden write you a letter saying, guess what, Cheryl? We overpaid you. And I said, you know, Cheryl, in these cases where people are overpaid, they owe the money because they got the money. And I said, you almost always, no, I didn't say almost always. I said you have to pay the money back, and that's just the way it is. You can probably get the penalties removed if you didn't do anything intentionally, but you're going to have to pay it back. And you were distressed about that. So
yes, because I've been trying to deal with them for more than a year and a half.
So what happened then?
Well, you know, I just keep doing the same thing. And then last Wednesday, a week ago today, I got a letter in the mail from them that they had forgiven the debt.
How much was it?
Well, that letter was a little over $17,000.
Can you believe this?
Mark, how many years has it been?
I happened to be on wait for a call from them.
How many years has it been?
It's been a year and a half. I've been trying to work through this.
I mean, how old is the debt?
What he's asking first, I think, is how many months or years did you receive Social Security that you weren't?
I never really got that, but I think it was probably about 4.
About 4 years.
But I don't know. I mean, part of the problem was that
I couldn't communicate.
Could get clear information from them, and every time I did talk to somebody, I got different numbers.
But you did recognize that you were receiving Social Security, right?
Yes.
And you did recognize that you did have PARA, right?
Yes, and I did tell them that I had told them about that. And they said it doesn't make any difference if you did or you didn't. You should have known we didn't figure it in. And there was, of course, no way for me to know that.
And then all of a sudden, this letter shows up. Suzanne, we didn't have anything to do with this, did we? Did we put her in touch with anyone, or is this all on her own?
Well, I sent a letter to Social Security Administration's public relations telling them what a hardship this has been on Cheryl. Yeah, I sent an email, not a letter, Tom.
But you sent it to a contact there.
Absolutely, yes.
When did you send that?
About a week before she got her notice.
Oh my goodness, maybe it did something. Who knows, Cheryl? But it.
Well, and that's true, Tom. You know, I wish I could say, in order to have this happen for someone else, first you do A, and then you do B, and then you do C. I don't know how it happened. I'm grateful, you know, and I checked with Social Security, first of all, to see that it wasn't a fake letter.
Yeah. Well,
and
thank
then
you.
On top
you know
of
what?
That, about 3 days later, I got another letter. And I was scared to open it because I was afraid it was going to say, "Ha ha ha, we got you," but it forgave another a little bit over $6,000 more.
So we have a total now of $23,000 forgiven. Cheryl, thank you for letting us know. And Suzanne, I think that letter may have helped. That's great news. Now, Anthony has a question about something I just advertised, Rocky Mountain Retro Foam. Anthony, what is your question?
It's actually, I guess, two parts, really. Does the foam have any issues with, like, leaking out of, like, electrical sockets or any of the wires that anyone runs, like my phone wires?
Okay, and what else? What's your other question?
Like, and what kind of, how much pressure do they put behind it? Like, is there a risk I should worry about it pushing any sockets?
Yeah, in other words, hey, I get you. Does it bow out the walls? Or if you have, is there pressure when it goes in and spreads out? You know what? Let's get someone from Rocky Mountain Retro Foam to answer that right after this.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Arapahoe Basin.
Travel across the metro area freeway system in really good shape right now. No stalls, no accidents, and really no major delays, with the exception of the drive into Boulder. Westbound Turnpike a bit stop and go there between Baseline and Colorado Avenue. Right lane's blocked at 28th Street for construction, so that's causing the delays. Back out on the highway drive, looking good on I-25 and I-70 through the heart of the city. No major problems there. The rest of the freeway system in decent shape as well. The weather forecast going to be mostly sunny today with a high near 70. Tonight, partly cloudy overnight, a low of 39. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, slight chance of afternoon showers, a high near 52. Right now, a few clouds and 52. With your Impact Traffic and Weather, I'm Pete Wagner, 630 KHOW.
Join Arapahoe Basin this spring for fun events, concerts, and awesome snow conditions. Purchase your 2020-21 season pass today for the lowest price. Go to arapahoebasin.com or call 1-888-ARAPAHOE for more information.
Master Rooter Plumbing, I talk about these guys constantly. They give free estimates, and they don't charge a trip charge in the Denver metro area. They go further than that, though. They also give great discounts, like to military, senior citizens, and, of course, single-income families. Now, that's incredible. A full-service plumber with 24/7 emergency service that does plumbing at a good, decent price. Get ready for this number, 720-434-3406. Write it down. You're going to need a plumber at some point, 720-434-3406.
Disney on Ice invites you to experience timeless Disney stories together on a high seas adventure with Moana, at a roundup with Woody, and in Frozen's eternal winter with Anna and Elsa. Share the excitement and make memories you'll treasure forever at Disney on Ice presents Celebrate Memories.
Opening night tickets are $15. Restrictions and charges may apply. Playing at Denver Coliseum March 26th through 29th.
ED pills really don't work for me. Men, we hear this all the time, because for many men, pills just don't do the job. This is Jeff for the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, and I'm here to tell you that if you're settling for a mediocre sexual experience because the pills aren't that great or giving you unwanted side effects, you have options. Many of them, in fact. At the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, we've been treating erectile dysfunction and other men's sexual health issues for years, and we do it the right way. We evaluate your medical history, we do blood work and test your PSA, and we do it in our offices with medical personnel. Unlike the faceless online pharmacies, we have many different treatment options. Plus, we have treatment combinations and advanced treatment protocols that really could have you performing like you haven't in years. So give us a call. For just $99, you'll get a medical consult, blood work, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in our office, your visit is free. Call today at 720-440-7900 or go to RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com. Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, the leader in men's sexual health.
When you think about home loans, think Ideal Home Loans and the help they can give you.
We want to work with affordability and what you can make as a payment every month so that you're comfortable and in something that works well for your situation.
Call Brent Ivinson and his team at 303-867-7000, 867-7000, idealhomeloans.com. Help when you need it most.
Equal Opportunity Lender, regulated by DORA, NMLS 136756. For terms and conditions, call 844-45-IDEAL.
Take it like it is and make it like you want it. You've heard that before, right? Well, that applies to your home too. But maybe you don't know exactly how to get it done or what the options might be. Hi, Dan Cicchini, Done Right Kitchens and Baths, Windows and Doors. How about starting with a call to us? For over 30 years, our family company's been designing and completing first-rate kitchens and baths that, frankly, your neighbors would be jealous of. Where to start, Todd?
Dad, they just need to call us. We can help, and now's the time. At Done Right, we offer only the finest cabinet resurfacing, custom cabinets, tub and shower upgrades, and full kitchen and bath redesigns. Simply call us for a free in-home estimate, and you'll see how your unique kitchen and bath fantasies will become your reality.
Come on, folks, get her done. Once and for all. Kitchens, baths, counters, and floors, and even replacement windows and doors. You have our word, we'll treat you right at Done Right. 303-722-2295, 800-362-8370, or drhi.com.
What's in store this week at your local Staples?
A smart investment for your business.
Right now at Staples, you can earn 30% back in rewards when you buy $75 of ink or $200 of toner.
So you stock up on ink and earn big rewards that can come in handy for your business.
But hurry, this 30% back in rewards offer is good this week only.
Staples, where there's a whole lot more in store.
Ends 3/14/20. Exclusions apply. See store or staples.com/30 in rewards for details.
You're in charge of hiring, and Indeed has solutions, like online skills tests, which let a candidate show that they're the right hire. And we'll give you this barbershop quartet who'll sing the name of the perfect hire.
Vince Lundy.
Vince Lundy.
Vince Lundy.
Vince Lundy.
Okay, there's no quartet, but skills tests, that's a for sure.
See why independent research by Silk Road shows Indeed delivers 3 times more hires than any other job site. Visit Indeed.com/promo today and get a free sponsored job upgrade on your first posting. Terms, conditions, and exclusions apply.
Century RV, are we fortunate to have a place that has internet pricing and a wide selection like these giant dealers, but we have them in our backyard? You have one out west in Lakewood, just north of 6th Avenue between Kipling and Sims next to Woodley's, and you also have one up north on I-25 and the 119 exit to Longmont. And there's a service department up there. CentryRV.com, 303-453-1111. New and used. Great service. Great selection. 303-453-1111.
Hey, this is Dan Kaplis. Thanks for listening to Tom Martino. Join me this afternoon at 4 for your ride home, and all you have to say is, Alexa, play 630 KHOW.
Denver's talk station. Available on over 2,000 devices.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK. 713-8255. Anthony had a good question about Rocky Mountain Retrofoam. Let's get right to it. Tim Kite is with Rocky Mountain Retrofoam. Tim, I think you're the general manager over there. And
yeah, that's right.
And Tim, of course, we've talked several times before, but I never actually asked. First and foremost, does it put pressure in the cavity? When it goes in, I call it like a thick shaving cream. Would you say it's kind of like a thicker, dense shaving cream?
That's exactly what it's like, because as we go in, we want to make it go in through all these little cracks and crevices and around pipes. So, yeah, we make it more of a shaving cream consistency going in.
And then does it get harder?
It does. Yeah, it takes about 72 hours to completely cure. But then it turns into just a solid component in the wall.
But when it's solid, it's not like solid like people are thinking. It has a consistency that you can snake through and work through. It's not like really hard.
Yeah, and you're right on the money with that. A lot of people think it's spray foam, and spray foam is, you're not going to be able to push wires through it or anything. So with this foam, it's made to where it's easy to fish wires through. You can pull it out with your bare hands if you need to work on the walls.
Right.
It just makes it very nice.
So does it put, when we have a closed cavity, it's going in, you look at the video at foamyourwalls.com, and it goes in and spreads around. Is it putting pressure on the drywall?
It can, yes. We do want to put some pressure on it because we want to make it to fill in all those little cracks and crevices. So I was noticing when Anthony was talking about it, he was saying, is it going to go into my electrical sockets or come out or anything? Yes, it would. So, and that's actually what we want. We want to be able to see that if there's holes in your walls that air can leak through, we want to fill those.
Okay, so Anthony, I don't think it's going to come out onto your walls through your switch plates and stuff, but you may get some in your intrusion into your junction boxes.
Okay. And
Yep,
is that,
absolutely.
can you just take a razor blade and clean that off, or do I have to worry about it?
You can do it with your finger. You know, if you turn the power off, and if it's a problem, you do it with your finger. You leave it alone. But if you ever have to get in there and work on it, you open it up and you'll just take it out with your finger.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's
So
not, Anthony, it's not an adhesive that sticks all in it or on the walls or anything.
No.
So it just comes right off.
And it's not like an epoxy. It would be more like a cotton.
Yeah, that's a very good way to put it. It's almost like a consistency of like an angel food cake.
Yeah.
But you can literally just pull it right out.
Yeah.
You know, with your hand. It's almost like floral foam.
It's really excellent stuff. Anthony, how old is your home?
Maybe 20 years old.
Oh man, you will absolutely love this. Do you feel drafts, and is it like do you have bad insulation?
I think we do, because the heat doesn't keep very well, and
man,
we have vaulted ceilings, so when it drops cold, it doesn't exactly stay warm.
One thing you notice with this too, when you walk into an area that was done, it's almost like you're walking into a sound studio. I'm serious. It has such a weird effect. I think it's good for fun. I don't want to get weird here, but feng shui, man, it's like a calming thing. You don't hear all the noise, and you just don't even realize it. It's a different kind of thing. So,
that's right. Yeah.
So anyway, Anthony, you ought to go. It
really calms it down.
Yeah, go to foamyourwalls.com and take a look at it. And did you guys have any specials coming up for spring, Tim?
Well, we do have specials right now, and that's one thing I want our listeners to understand is that we have
hold on
a
one
lot
sec.
of good specials going on.
Yeah, okay.
Sure.
So can you give us one? I just had to get rid of that call. Okay, can you give us a special right now?
You bet. So right now, the federal government came back with a tax credit that'll allow you to get up to $500 back from them, and we're going to match that.
Very cool. Love it. How long you going to do that? I want to
$500 from us and $500 from them.
How long you going to do that? I want to put it down as one of my little
That is as long. Yeah, that is as long as the federal government has it in place.
I'm writing it down now, man.
A month ago and said we're good with that.
I'm writing that down now. Rocky Mountain Retrofoam, foamyourwalls.com. They're going to match the federal tax credit. Is that right?
That's correct.
All right. Plus, they also get utility company rebates, right?
That's correct. So if you're an Excel customer, you have the ability to get some rebates back. So we can walk you through all that with energy audits and blower door tests and everything needed so that we can get you on the right track.
Cool. Thank you very much. Okay, Rocky Mountain Retrofoam, the easiest thing to do, foamyourwalls.com. All right, Rodney, you have a comment on that IRS email. I'm not sure what you're talking about. You talking about the Social Security one the woman said she got?
Yeah, I'm sorry, the Social Security one. So
what about it, sir?
If you sign up to view your Social Security benefits, they will automatically send you that email. I receive it. However, I never click on anything they send me. I go manually on my own.
I've had 2 or 3 people email us saying exactly what he did.
So the email comes from the government after you sign up for benefits?
Correct.
Okay, I'm trying to think if I got one, because I signed up for benefits. I'm trying to think if I got one. I do get regular emails from them, though. Statements, of different things. And also, I just got one about the coronavirus, basically saying, if you're a recipient, Social Security wants their recipients to be aware of this and this and this. I guess what they're saying, in essence, is if you're an old fart, you're going to get it. I mean, if you get it, you're at more risk, I meant. Suzanne, did Gene send a copy of that email to me?
It's in front of you. I printed it.
You printed it. Okay. you print it. What I wanted to do is try to click on the links.
Oh, I could send it to you, Tom. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
no.
It does look legit.
Yeah, it sure does. It sure does. But I want to look into it further. Again, there's nothing wrong with simply looking at this thing as long as you don't fill anything out or give them any information. But just hold on, and I will click through some of these links for you since I'm protected by safernet.com. So more coming up. I'm Tom Martino. 303-713-TALK is our number. Or you can call, of course, 24/7. 303-MARTINO. I'll take all of your calls coming up. Time to get your AC checked.
I'm going to blast down to the Springs. Okay. I should be back at 2:30 with no problem.
Yeah, I got some great
for your game or something.
Yeah.
I got some great follow-up on that.
And then I sent you an email that has the website to We Buy Ugly Houses.
Yeah.
The front page of it shows it all. It's an easy.
I got it.
It's actually pretty cool. They've bought over 100,000 homes.
Okay, I just talked to the guy, not to Aria, but another guy that sent me to him what they want to do.
What website do they want to use?
They don't even really want to say because We Buy Ugly Houses, and they don't really want that, at least for the first one, just because it sounds like it's ugly houses.
Oh, they're crazy. That's a great website.
I know.
Yeah, this is absolutely real.
Yeah, I had 2-3 emails on it.
This is absolutely real. The URL
Send him an
is real.
email right now.
Yep.
And they want information from her?
Yeah, the bullet points.
You just got to put in your
Make sure
username
you put your phone number,
password,
and
and
then if
register.
there's no website, tell them don't use a website.
Hey,
Although
Mark,
I disagree with
they
that.
don't ask for
use,
shit.
They should use that.
I got great feedback on that. Remember that Ford Fusion head that was...
This is for real.
I got great great follow-up from
What did
Kevin.
Kevin say?
I'll tell you next hour.
Well, I'm leaving.
Well, you have to listen in the car.
I will listen.
You have to listen in the car.
It's good from Kevin?
Yeah, right from Kevin, from the horse's mouth.
Oh, did you hear not Weinstein? Was it Weinstein?
Yeah, he got 23 years.
Yeah. How long do you think he survives in court or in prison? How long the other guy before he committed suicide?
No, but the point is, this guy didn't do it with underage girls. He did it. That's the difference. He didn't.
Yeah, but I think he was murdered. I don't think he.
Oh no, he was murdered. Yeah. But Weinstein did it with adults.
Yeah,
he's
a rapist no matter what.
Yeah, but they don't.
And actually, I don't know how true that is. Weren't some of the girls like?
Some of them probably were under.
They were under 18.
I don't think.
I don't think the prison. I don't think the charges brought against him were with a minor.
Right.
But there was a lot of actresses that were 16, 17 saying they fooled around with him.
Okay.
But the statute of limitations was gone. Because remember, most states, I don't know how Colorado is.
With the statute of limitations?
Yeah, you have 7 or 10 years to bring a rape case.
Wow.
And in some places they changed that, and that happened to be where they got him. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Can I look over your shoulder, Tom, and see this?
Huh?
I said, can I look over your shoulder?
It's legit. Because I put my name in there and stuff. I mean, you absolutely.
What are you going down there for, Mark?
Yep.
I got to meet with Neil.
It's all real, bro.
Wow.
Hey, tell her to run my one in the can for my second live.
Anyway, that's cool.
Huh. That's the first time I've heard of it.
It also features a glass floor that's described as indestructible.
Yeah, very cool.
I
mean, yeah, I knew that they send out emails because I got emails, but I didn't put it together.
But they usually send out emails with just notifications, not with requests. That's what I thought was unusual.
Yeah, they want you to update your information. I mean,
that's what I found.
Here's the problem, man. How the fuck? Because all they have to do is change a slash in something and redirect. And people are in trouble when they do that. It really is. So I mean, you got to be careful.
We had a call yesterday from a guy who brought his Ford Fusion to Larry H. Miller, and they were telling him they couldn't get a new head for his car because it was back ordered, and so we couldn't believe that they weren't jerking him around. So I spoke to Kevin, and he has some interesting things to say about it.
That's weird. Yeah, good.
So I'll give you some follow up on that.
Good. So.
There's a new drive-through testing site for coronavirus opening today in Denver. The location of the lab is 8100 East Lowry Boulevard, and only patients with a doctor's order to receive a test.
Wow.
You do need ID, obviously.
Give me a test, doctor. Give me a. Can't you still write shit or not?
No, but I can.
No restrooms will be available. That's Chuck Clark reporting.
You can't write anything?
No, I didn't renew my. It's such a hassle to keep it active and pay for the DEA, you know.
Not the DEA, but can't you do?
But there's no point having a license if you don't have a DEA.
So you don't have a license to practice medicine anymore?
Nope.
If you wanted to reactivate it, you could.
Yeah.
You could.
I don't know what the steps are.
There's
but
no
yeah.
mandatory retirement age for a doctor?
Nope.
And then what about if you wanted to do Doctors Without Borders? You wanted to go like...
I don't know. It depends on what their requirements would be. I mean, I'm sure if I wanted to go to Uganda, and with doc, they would say, okay, well, you were board certified OBGYN for 40 years. Come on over because we need people.
Stopping all the traffic on the westbound side of the turnpike at Baseline. Construction at 28th, the culprits. That's got the right lane blocked, so just watch out for that. Otherwise, the drive across town looking good. I-25, I-70, no delays through town. 470s running smooth in Highland
Wow.
6th Avenue, no delays in Lakewood Drive.
Out of the 3 guys that I play poker with, we all say, look, it's too much of a hassle. You know, Stu, who you went to, right? He said, fuck it, I don't want he'd let his license expire. My friend...
Is Stu out of it now?
Yeah.
I just can't fucking believe he got out. I mean, I really can't. He's done, man.
My friend, if you ever need information on pulmonology stuff, my friend Mike Gerba, who's the smartest guy I know, he let his license expire. It's just a hassle to keep it.
Done.
You deserve it. Call 720-895-0500, where we have been serving Colorado since 2001. We are locally owned and operated. We know Colorado, and we know how to help.
There used to be a duplicate.
Like another number, transfers from one person to another, vague answers, feel like no one is listening. Kick AIM, where what you want matters. Respect and straight answers. And all with the same person from start to finish. Call 720.
Should I have Suzanne get this guy Zach back on the line so we can tell him what Kevin Calkins said? I'll have Suzanne get him back on.
Hey, it's Joe Pack. Join me weeknight from 6 to 9 right here on Denver's Talk Station, 630 KHOW. We'll impact and wrap up your day with the latest news, strong opinions, and plenty of fun along the way. Join me, Joe Pags, weeknights at 6 on 630 KHOW.
It's Ross Kaminsky. Mornings at 6. A federal appeals court just ruled that Led Zeppelin didn't steal the opening music of Stairway to Heaven. We'll talk with Ed McPherson, the attorney who defended Led Zeppelin. That's Thursday morning at 9:05 here on 630 KHOW. This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino, the Troubleshooter.
I'm Tom Martino, and I welcome you to the only show of its kind anywhere where we are solving problems every day. We talk about everyday life. I like to call it the official coronavirus show or the official What Do You Need to Know show. I'm serious. We don't hype things up. We just talk like it is, and we've gathered a lot of information about the coronavirus. I'm going to give you some lowdowns on it from medical and financial people. We really take it seriously, but there are some things you need to know and things you're not being told and why people are taking this so seriously. The one question we get is why are they making such a big deal about it if, in fact, it doesn't really kill that many people? And others are saying it's probably killing more people than we know, and it's some kind of secret. There's all kinds of mysterious rumors going on about the coronavirus. Welcome. I'm Tom Martino. We help people. That's what we do each and every day. So one of the things we talk about is Social Security scams, elderly scams, and we try to protect you from them. Gene got a letter. It was an email. Now, usually when you sign up for Social Security, you opt in for email. Somehow she got an email. We checked out the links in her email. They're all legit, real links. That's not to say every time you get an email saying it's Social Security, it's legitimate. And what's unfortunate is a lot of people don't know how to ferret through a URL to find if it's real. So I'm going to give you a little tip on that. If you go to this link or any link that you get to find out if it's real, and where, not if it's real, but where it comes from, is you can click on it, and then you go to the end of the URL with your cursor in the address bar, and then delete backwards. And keep deleting backwards until you come to the .domain. There are other dots in there, but I'm talking about the .domain. What would a .domain be? You may not know enough to do this, but if you do, then you're following me. Like a .gov, a .com, a .net, a .us, .mobile, whatever. And the way you know that is, it will be the first dot you come to going backwards. So if you go to the end of the URL, the end of it, and then you start deleting right up, don't delete, when you see your first dot, don't delete the letters after the first dot. You keep only the root domain. Now, like I said, if you know what I'm saying, you can do this. Once you do that and you delete it, then hit return. And it will take you to an address. Now, if you get a 404 error, there is no action mapped for this space or anything like that. That means that there is no root. So how do you find out if it's real? You go to whois.com. I believe it's whois. And then you copy and paste that root domain into that. Or you can actually go to GoDaddy. But I think whois tells you who owns it. I believe that's what it used to be. Let me see. Whois.com. And then when you get to it, yes, whois. You put it in the top bar. So now I copy this domain and I put it in the whois.com. That's WHOIS.com. Whois. Now I paste it in there and then I hit the whois. It's like a search. And it tells me who it is. It says U.S. government. And it says, and it gives you the information. It is a surefire way to know what you're getting. But you have to know how to parse through that link. If you don't know, then don't do it. And sometimes links are embedded in a keyword. You can send an email that says, hit this link, and then they highlight LINK and associate a link with it. If you get a link like that, a hidden link, there's a way to find out what that link is. And that's by either right-clicking on it or hovering over it, depending on your system, and you can copy it and then paste it into a note or a Word document or a text document, and it'll show you the actual wording of the URL. And a URL is what we call a website address, a URL. Was that really complicated, Doc? What do you think? You deal with elderly people every day.
I think if you limit it to going back to the first .gov or .com, most people can understand.
Or
that.
Whatever.
Right.
Whatever comes after that
after
first
that,
dot.
I think you've lost a
or
lot
whatever
of people.
comes after the last dot.
But a lot of people will be able to follow that. And I'm going to tell the people I speak to on Friday.
So, Gene, that letter you got, that email is legit.
Okay. But I have been receiving Social Security for 15 years. I didn't just apply.
I don't know why all of a sudden you're getting emails, but it's legit.
Okay.
That domain is from Social Security.
Okay, and it came in at 12:35 this morning.
Yeah, well, the time doesn't matter. You can schedule emails. So
okay.
The time you get an email is not indicative of...
And it does say, do not reply to this email.
Right. That's common with emails.
Okay.
So listen, that doesn't mean I want you to believe every one of them. But normally, Gene, when you hit on a link, it's not going to do anything harmful to you. But if you give information or give permission to get cookies and different things, you could get into trouble. That's why I recommend SaferNet to everybody. And I'm serious. Because with SaferNet, even if you link on something, first of all, they know 99% of everything out there, as much as Amazon does, and Google. So if something can get by Google and Amazon, even in those cases, if it's downloaded to your computer, it will not communicate with its host. So it renders it harmless. That's why I say SaferNet.com. It filters all of your traffic. I can't emphasize it enough. And it's only if you have one computer. You're a little old lady sitting at home, a little old man, you have one computer, it's $3.99 a month. $3.99 a month. My goodness. Let's talk to Susan, who wants to take issue with me when I was talking about Rocky Mountain Retrofoam. And by the way, just so you know, we don't filter out people who want to talk about products and services we advertise. In fact, we welcome them. And I have no idea whether this is positive or negative. I think it's a little, she said it's a little misleading, so maybe it's negative. Susan, what do you want to talk about?
I want Rocky Mountain Retrofoam foamed our walls in December.
Okay.
And we have a house that was built in 61.
In 1961.
Right.
Okay.
We had brick outside. And they foamed it through the brick, and it was fantastic because I can't even tell they put holes in the grout.
Yeah, good.
And we did it because our house was drafty, and we've lived here 30 years.
Have you noticed a difference?
Yes.
Wow.
It got rid of the draft we had in the living room.
Have you noticed any difference in your bills?
A little bit.
Okay.
But mostly I haven't had to have the space heater in my office this winter.
Well, that's a savings. But Suzanne says it's a little, I was a little misleading. How am I misleading?
The one thing people need to know, if they use Rocky Mountain Retrofoam, they do have a disclaimer on their contract that says that they may have to repair the walls.
Ah. And what is that for, dear? What is that for?
Well, the foam came through my fixture and blew the plate off the wall, and it cracked. Oh. It put a long crack in my office wall.
Okay.
When it expanded.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because we had the nails. You know,
well,
the drywall
it doesn't expand so much as the pressure is doing that.
Right.
Yeah.
It was just they put a little more product in. In other words, they don't have as much control of the product they would like.
Yeah. So
their repairman
had a blowout.
Absolutely fantastic.
So you had a blowout, but you like. Performance and warranties and all of that, okay? So you never have to worry about calling us with a problem. That's what we do. That is our guarantee to you. We will stand behind and help you correct problems that may come up from referralist.com. No other list is going to do that. And that's not BS. That's for real. Now, Steve only has 15 minutes. I'm going to start him now, but I may not finish because I have to take a break. But I want to know what's going on so I can research it during the break for him. Steve, what's happening?
Hey, Tom, sorry, I'm just driving. Got to be somewhere in a minute or two.
That's okay. That's okay. What do you need to know?
So I have a little tiny piece of property in a little town called Crestone, Colorado, which is about 3 hours south of Denver here. and I bought it as an IRS tax seizure at auction. I paid $2,500 for it maybe, and I got a letter in the mail recently from an organization claiming to be a property management or a homeowners type of management organization, saying that I owed like $1,600 in back HOA dues.
Yeah. All right.
A friend of mine has a very similar property, and he just got a notice from a collection agency for the same type of thing, though less money.
So what is your question?
My question is, being that I was never told that that there would be, I never signed any documentation.
All right. If you hold on, I got to take a break. I promise you, you're first up.
Only 3 days left until Carpet Mill Outlet Store's one-day private sale.
I came back after like 10 seconds. Hey, Tom, I'm going to send you these bullet points again.
Okay, sir.
Tile, laminate, granite countertops, or area rugs. Carpet Mill
You're
Outlet
pretty good
Stores
on
has
the
the
fly.
lowest prices guaranteed. You'll find
When is it coming up? Okay, gotcha.
12 locations, but the sale is one day only. This Saturday. Find out more at carpetmilloutletstores.com.
John Fuller is a personal injury attorney, but he's also our automobile traffic accident expert. Whether it's an accident with an auto or a truck or an SUV, motorcycles, big rigs, John Fuller can give you immediate information. I mean immediate. You call him, he'll get back to you. And if he's there, he'll talk to you. John Fuller will talk to you personally. He will give you an evaluation of your case. He will answer questions so you don't have to speculate whether it's a good case or not, or whether it's a decent case. But I know this, he doesn't charge for those consultations. Free legal advice when you need it the most, but most importantly, when he does represent you, it's always on contingency. That's 303-597-4500, 597-4500, personalinjuryco.com.
Gabby Gourmet, Chef Matthew Franklin returns to 240 Union. He and owner Mike.
So, Tom, is it the title company or the real estate company that's responsible for letting him know that there's an HOA? When you purchase
I would say if you have a fiduciary with your agent, they're responsible.
Right, for letting you know that.
The title company, see, here's where it gets hazy. The title company has taken on a lot of responsibilities that they're not a fiduciary.
Mm-hmm.
A title company only insures title. But as a courtesy, they do closings. There have been a lot of legal issues that come up because they have taken this on. Do they now have a fiduciary? No, they do not. Your agent does. However, they are liable for mistakes sometimes. But they make you right up front, they make you sign something saying you're not holding the title company responsible. They have taken on the role of letting you know these things, and we all expect them to. But man, I wouldn't hang my hat on it. However, if I have a buyer's agent and they don't tell me about shit like that,
the buyer's agent should let them know about the HOA.
Yeah, but they bid on a tax lien. They didn't buy it. I mean, they bid on it, and I think they should. Yeah. A tax lien should be the title company. A lien, not an HOA, but a lien, because it is.
It's attached to the property.
If it's a lien,
right.
HOA fees aren't always liens.
Right.
But yes, if it's a lien, a title company better. And if it's of record, the title company has to do it.
Yeah, when we built our house in Cherry Hills Village, the title company forgot about an easement for a utility line.
Did they have to pay you for it?
40 grand. No, they paid 40 grand to have it put around the periphery of the property.
Yeah, so they paid you for it.
Yeah, exactly.
They forgot it was of record, and they did not list it.
Right.
Holy
shit. And it was right through the middle of where we're going to build the house.
And you couldn't build it.
Well, after
if it was like that.
Oh, yeah, because it was right in the middle of the house.
So why would that lot have any value ever?
So, well, once they moved it, it was fine.
I know, but what I'm saying is that no one could have built on that anyway.
Right.
Or were there other places to build?
No, it was right through the middle of the property where we put the house. Somehow it got overlooked.
Do you have kids?
Yeah, I have a 32-year-old son.
Is he in medicine?
No, he said he majored in ABM, anything but medicine, because he saw how hard I worked. So he's an IT guy for Charter Communications. He's a great
But
kid.
Matt, medicine is such a lofty profession. No matter where you are or what you do, you know, it used to be lawyers too, but now when people say they're a lawyer, nobody gives a shit. But if you're at a cocktail party, doctors are up here.
Yeah.
Just because they know so much.
Well, it's not only that, it's the amount of time and energy
It's a
you
lofty
put into
profession,
it.
and I mean that because you figure you can't be a jerk off and become a doctor.
Right.
Although there are plenty of doctors you wonder, haven't you met some thinking how the fuck they get through medical school? But they work
Very
their ass
few.
off.
You know, we were talking about the other night that there are very few assholes that I met that are doctors.
Well, personality-wise they might be, but not stupid.
No, and they're also not. What's the word I'm trying to think? They're not cheats or renegades, or they don't take advantage of people.
Yeah.
Almost all the doctors I met were honest.
There's a whole breed of them though in the cosmetic part. I don't like that.
That's different.
You know, I can tell when somebody was an ENT or they were an obstetrician or they were a gynecologist, and all of a sudden now they're doing this skin stuff and they're doing all the fat sucking and all of the cosmetic. Now, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but man, can you tell a huckster? I swear, there's nothing worse than a doctor huckster.
Or a lot of dentists are doing that. My friend was complaining about dentists.
And
doing
chiropractors.
Yes.
Hi, Tom Martino here. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Oh, man, I love Frank Duran, realestateman.com. And when we were talking about real estate, I'm going to go right back to him because if he had Frank Duran, he'd know about this kind of stuff. Frank Duran, if you're buying, will protect you. 303-920-1622. I mean that. You need a good agent. But what about a title company? See, in this case, he didn't do it traditionally through an agent or a broker. He bid on a tax thing. He bought a tax lien. Isn't that right, Steve?
Yeah, that's right.
All right. Now, here's what I want to tell you. The IRS takes the property and owns it in first position. You buy it, and it's not subject to any other liens except homeowners. It is a super lien. And the IRS doesn't have to tell you, no one has to tell you about it when you're bidding because there's no one with a fiduciary responsibility to you. You're not represented by anyone. So in this case, if it was a mechanic, if it was a carpenter, if it was someone else, those fall by the wayside. Once the IRS takes it over, they're in first position. But the HOA liens, if they turned it into a lien, it supersedes. And I believe now it doesn't supersede the government in ownership, but it survives, I believe, the government confiscation. So I believe now listen, I'm going to double check this, but I'm almost positive that when it is foreclosed on or any other thing, that the homeowners do still have to be paid. Now, let's check with Stan, the HOA man, Suzanne, as just a confirmation before Steve pays it. So, Steve, how much is owed? $1,600? Did you or $2,500?
Roughly, yeah. Roughly $1,600. I don't have the paperwork in front of me right now.
Yeah. But did they say it's a lien?
No, they have not said that yet.
Well, hold on a second. That might change things a bit. Now, you only have a few minutes, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about it, and you can either listen to the podcast or you can call us back, and we'll give you the update. But I think you do owe it, okay? That's what I think. I'd be surprised if I'm wrong. I'm going to double check. But you don't have a lot of time. So you can hang if you want or not, but I will double check and have the answer. Suzanne's going to get one of our HOA experts. Kevin has a comment on fraud email links and all of that. Go ahead, Kevin.
Hello, Tom.
Hey, what's going on?
I wanted to give you a shortcut on how to solve some stuff.
Good. Hold on one sec. Hold on, Kevin. For some reason, I'm having a problem hearing Kevin. I don't know if it's his phone. Let me go to Stan, the HOA man, though, for an answer, because maybe Steve is still there. Steve, are you still there?
I'm still here, yeah.
All right, good. Stan, the HOA man. That's what we call him. Stan has an HOA website, and he helps people, and he's gotten involved with HOAs as far as helping people understand them and fight them and all that. Stan, in short, do HOA fees survive the IRS foreclosure? If the IRS takes over a home in a subdivision and that home has accumulated $2,000 in HOA fees, do you know if when somebody takes that over? I heard that HOA fees are like a super lien.
Yeah, it's a good question. This just came up. My understanding, and this is sort of cloudy,
yes,
that there's some conditions prior to putting the lien. It has to be equal to 6 months of HOA dues.
It can't go beyond that. It has to be only the last 6 months, right?
Yeah, but now there's some question whether the grand total, if you have $100 a month, once you hit $600, in brief, they can put the lien on. Does that $600 include administrative fees and all that? It's not really a gray area. I don't have it in front of me, but I believe they can collect it. I mean, I could verify that.
Yeah, that's what we're going to do.
Yeah.
It says here that
if Tom, if he writes me, I can give him a specific case because we just reported on this not too long ago.
Okay, and what is your website so people can go there?
Right, the Colorado HOA Forum, FORUM.com. And I will respond to them and give them the actual law. I'll have to, so I don't have to guess at it.
Now, here's what I found online. What they say here, Stan, is anyone who buys a home out of foreclosure or tax sale is liable for the payment of HOA assessments. It says, however, see, this is cloudy too, man, because it says 10 days after foreclosure, but it has to be only the past. They can't go back more than 6 months. Who knows? Again, this is not an authority. I just realized that when I started reading it. So we're going to get you the definite answer, but it sounds like if they went through the proper steps, you are going to be liable for some of the HOA fees if they went through the proper steps. Now, that's a big qualified answer, so we're going to have to make it more specific coming up, okay? Now, Kevin, I'll go back to you. Kevin,
good.
Go ahead, sir. What did you want to talk about with the email links?
Instead of clicking on those, you can hover over the link before you click on it and look at the lower left where your start button is, and it will give you the URL without you touching it.
Good.
If there's no HTTPS on it, you'll know there's some problems.
Well, but that's not the. Oh, what else is the problem, sir?
Well, if you don't have the .com on there, then you know for sure, especially if it's like a Polish.
Well, yeah, I understand, but .gov or .org, those could be quite, legit.
Right, but there's no HTTPS in the beginning of it. That means it's not a secured link.
Okay, but I have had legit sites that don't have a secured link as well. What I'm saying, Kevin, is what you're saying. No, what you're saying in general is a good safety rule. That HTTPS is truly important, but it's not the end all. It doesn't mean if you don't have the S, it's a bad site, but it certainly does give you some reassurance. Now, Kevin, here's the other thing, though. I have seen some scam sites with HTTPS because guess why? They do all the security measures correctly. You see, the S doesn't say they are legit. It just says they're secure. That's a big misunderstanding, too. Who am I doing now? Get found fast.
Hey, Doc, which one did I miss?
What?
Did I miss a call when I was out talking?
No.
Okay. What were you guys doing? You just stopped the show when I was gone?
Yeah. You know what HTTPS stands for?
What does it?
Hypertext Transfer Protocol Secure.
Oh, so that means secure.
Yeah, I just looked it up.
Yeah, but not legit.
But it's better than a dot Polish.
It says that it's an extension of the HTTP. It is used.
Okay, got it. Oh, hold on. When you look at when you have a website, it doesn't mean that you are really on the net for a lot of people to see. It just means you have a website. How does that website perform? What does it look like to Google, which is about 90% of all web traffic? Get Found Fast can help you. They can help you with Google. They can help you with Bing. They can help you have a better presence online. Now listen, you've heard of these companies before. Please don't fall for the liars, the cheaters. We know these guys get results. They really, really do. GetFoundFast.com.
Oh, it is used for secure communications over a computer network and is widely used on the internet.
I didn't hear you because I was.
That's okay.
What did you say?
Oh, I just was reading what HTTPS stands for.
Oh, okay, cool.
That's just for supposedly for secure communications.
Google Docs.
Did things go okay in court yesterday, Tom?
Huh?
Did things go okay in court for you yesterday?
Yeah, we didn't get a settlement, but I got a good feel for it.
Was it small claims or district court?
No, it's federal court.
Oh, wow. So you had an attorney and everything there?
Uh-huh. Yeah, you know what? We have a little bit of a problem. I'll explain when we're not on the air.
You know what would be useful for you to do? Because I was going to call up before last year and ask you this. To explain what the function and purpose of the BBB is.
There is no of the BBB?
Right. Well, people think that by calling them, they're going to intervene and take action. And as far as I can get, all it is a reporting service.
They think they're official, some kind of official organization. You'd be shocked at how many people think that.
See, what do you think the market is down this morning?
How much?
I don't know. I'm going to look it up. But it should be less than if Bernie wow, it's down another 1,200 points. That's huge. So it looks like it's going to be Trump and Biden.
Did Biden make that much of a show recently? Because Bernie was way out ahead.
He won South Carolina and the South, and then yesterday he.
You know the problem with having Biden? He can win. Yeah. Oh yes, he can.
The only way he'll win is just for people that don't like Trump. The guy sounds terrible.
That's exactly
terrible,
right.
He's
Guess
terrible
what though?
in debates.
He is an Obama clone.
Right.
Oh, not a clone.
Yeah.
Obama could at least talk with 2 cents.
Well, he meant policy-wise.
Biden would go wherever the wind blows, I think. I don't think he's really got too much policy. I sent you the email with the bullet points for home investors.
Yeah, I know.
Tom, real quick heads up, line 1. He and his brother got the same amount of money in inheritance. He's being told he owes way more in taxes on the inheritance than his brother is.
You don't get tax
Harris.
inheritance.
Blake Harris.
But you only get tax. Only inheritance tax would be if it was an IRA or 401k.
Or if it was more than a certain amount, right?
Oh.
We didn't ask how much it was.
So it's like $8 million.
In that case, you want to be really nice to him.
That's right.
Hi, Tom Martino here. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. What's going on in your life? How can we help you? Genesis is one place I can help you. Genesis, in the beginning. Genesis, TotalExteriors.com. They're actually interior as well. But home improvement is one of the areas we get the most complaints about. And with Genesis, you won't have worries. With Mark Szymanski and his team, they're honest, ethical, good people. Genesis, TotalExteriors.com. All right, so listen. Whatever questions, problems that you have, you can call us if you need referrals. If you want to agree or disagree, if you want to help people with information, we're going to be going over the virus information coming up that I've acquired. You know, I like cutting through the bull. I don't like exaggerating, but I also don't like underplaying. I like the truth, and this is where I am going to be objective on this. In many of my presentations, I am not objective, meaning that I've taken a stand. I have gathered information objectively, but then I take a stand. And I'll always let you know when I have a dog in the fight or when I'm giving opinion as opposed to some objective fact finding. Tom, what's going on?
Hi, Tom. Thanks for taking my call.
How can we help you?
Well, my mother passed away in July, and she left me some inheritance through an IRA of $22,000.
22,000 was it?
Yes.
Okay.
$22,000
from an IRA.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so she left you an IRA of $22,000. Go ahead.
Yes. So I went to Liberty Tax Service today to file my taxes, and they're telling me that the IRS wants $15,000 of that $22,000. My brother received the same amount, and he had to pay. He just filed his taxes on Monday, and he said it cost him about $3,000.
So you were the beneficiary on that IRA, right?
Yes, there were three of us. My brother and sister. Was $66,000 that was split three ways.
Okay, because that's what I wanted to know. When you said it was from an IRA, actually, it was 1/3 of an IRA.
Yes, sir.
Well, let me tell you why this is important. Okay, the $22,000 was split three ways. You each got 22. You have to pay how much in tax?
They want $15,000.
15 in tax, and your brother
paid $3,000.
Okay. Now, first of all, are you talking about his own personal income tax, or are you talking about $3,000 out of the 22? This is really an important distinction.
Well, the way he described it to me, he said normally he gets about $500 back on his return every year.
Now
and
I know.
This year he had to pay $2,500. So
I know the answer. Okay.
About a $3,000
There's
difference.
a $3,000 swing. Okay, I know that. I get that. And then what about your sister?
She hasn't filed her taxes yet, so she doesn't know what's in store for her.
Here's how an inheritance is taxed. It is not taxed, except in some cases, okay? I believe when you get an inheritance, the $22,000, whatever the amount is of a qualified plan, if you roll over that qualified plan, you can keep it as a qualified plan, I believe. But I do know this. When a qualified plan is cashed out in an estate, you only pay tax on the money that was not taxed. So you will pay tax on whatever money was not taxed.
Right.
Okay, so hold on. So you will pay tax because it was a qualified plan and you're not the originator. So you will pay tax. Now, the question is, why are you being taxed $15,000? That $22,000 put you over. Well, first of all, there's two kinds of taxes. You're going to pay tax on the $22,000 that wasn't paid, plus you're going to pay income tax. Okay,
Yes.
so you're paying two taxes. So your brother has lower income for sure. He pays.
He's got higher income than I do.
Well, no matter what, he has a lower tax burden because he normally gets $500 back, and now he's paying. Okay, so somehow, what do you normally pay in taxes? Normally.
Normally, I get about $500 or $600 back every year.
Okay, so you're both the same. Okay.
Yeah.
All I can say is the tax on the IRA is going to be exactly the same, no matter who got it. But the income tax, I can't speak to. That's what I'm getting at. What you guys are confused at is you not looking at the same thing. You have to look at how much money was actually paid from the proceeds of the IRA. That's the only thing that matters. Don't mix it up with your income tax. Don't say how much tax you're paying in full, because your tax man might not be as good as his tax man or might be stupid. But what you have to look at is just the 22. In other words, how much tax are you paying on the 22? You have to analyze. What's that?
7,000 is what they're paying on the 22. That's where 7,000 of it comes from.
Then your brother should also be paying 7,000 because you guys, when you inherit it, you don't inherit the money that wasn't taxed, and he inherits the money that was taxed. I mean, you all inherit a certain amount of qualified money that was not taxed and a certain amount of money that might have been taxed. It depends on what kind of plan it is. Is it after tax? It is before tax? And then what you do is you pay tax accordingly. No one gets out of paying taxes. So if the person that had the qualified plan did not pay tax on the money, the heirs pay tax on the money. It's not an inheritance tax. There is no inheritance tax for people that inherit money. There's no income tax on that. So the money. So what I'm finding odd is that he's paying different. Now, I don't know if Blake knows about the tax part, but I'm going to ask him plain and simple because this gets beyond just a state law, okay? But Blake Harris, I know he has to have come up against this. Blake, I just want to take it simple first. If I inherit an IRA or a 401k or any other kind of retirement plan, what taxes are paid on that plan at the time I cash it out?
Okay, so there's just been changes to the law regarding how IRAs, 401ks are treated with the Secure Act that Trump just signed a few months ago. It used to be that you would take them and you could elect to have them paid out over 5 years, or if they were left to a trust with the proper provisions, you could pay them out over the lifetime of a beneficiary in the same manner.
Now, Blake,
as
could I take a qualified plan from my father and put it in my qualified plan without any tax consequences or not? Or do you have to cash them out?
As far as I know, you cannot just roll it into your own
Okay,
plan.
got it. Now, keep going then. Then what tax is paid on qualified money?
You have to, if you're taking it out of a qualified plan, then there are going to be some income tax that you'd have to pay because the taxes never got paid at first.
Right. And how is that figured? Do you know? Like, in other words, his brother, they each took $22,000. And he said that his tax burden seems to be more than his brother's. Well, that could be because of tax bracket or because of how his guys did taxes. But on the IRA itself, their taxes should be identical, right? On the actual IRA.
If it's an inherited IRA and it's the same, then that should be the same.
Right. That's exactly right. But Tom, whatever tax was not paid will be paid. It's that simple. So, and it's the same for your brother. What you guys pay on that IRA, that tax will be exactly the same for both of you. But your tax return for that year might be different what you pay because there's a lot of other elements. So don't mix the two up. If you want to know if you and your brother are being treated fairly, find out exactly how much tax they are paying on his 22 and how much tax you're paying. In fact, the way it should have been done, Tom, is the estate representative should have taken out the taxes, I think, but maybe I'm wrong. Does the estate pay the tax on the money and then distribute it, or do the recipients pay it?
Well, so the IRA, because it probably has a beneficiary designation, went outside of the estate, then it's not an estate tax issue. If it did go through the estate, if there was no beneficiary designation left, then it would be the duty of the personal representative to make sure that those taxes were paid.
Okay, so hold on and we'll come back to this, all right? Just hold on and we'll figure it out.
He needs to go to
He's excellent. He knows it all, yeah.
He needs to go to his brother's CPA and have him do the tax.
Money should be taxed.
Yeah, but it would be interesting to see what his brother's CPA said to get him the reduced tax rate.
Yeah, because he's paying quite a high.
Yeah, 15,000 on 22 is ridiculous.
No, he's not. He said 7,000 was from the IRA.
But yeah, but he's
on 22,000.
Yeah.
Colorado Avenue,
which is ridiculous.
Got a crash off highway.
Well, I don't know. If you take 66,000, it depends on, did he put after-tax money in? Did he put before-tax money in?
I agree.
Is it truly an IRA? If it's an IRA, it's all taxable. Every bit of it's taxable. So on 66...
We're using a 32% tax bracket then.
Okay, how? Need funds to help pay for what's
that?
important to you, college, a wedding.
But I would call up the guy who prepared his brother's tax and ask him, how did you only apportion a smaller amount? What was your reason?
If you need help with personal injury, John Fuller is the man to call. If you're in an automobile accident, he is our expert, and I mean that. We call him all the time on questions about a hit and run even, or a rear ender, or a multi-car crash. He can help ferret through the details, and he can get you the protection you want, and he can get you the settlement that is fair. Or if he has to, he can go to court. John Fuller, Fuller Law. Here's the important thing. Get legal information when you need it most. Fuller Law is 303-597-4500. He's also on our referral list at referrallist.com. First of all, is the tax paid on the recipient's tax bracket or the donor's tax bracket? See?
I would probably, yeah.
Well, who's it paid on?
These are complicated questions.
Why, though? I mean, because, yeah, I guess. I don't know. You're right. But tax has to be paid on that money. If you take 66, the most that's going to be taxed, let's say, is 33. So let's say 33,000.
You mean 50%?
Yeah, it could be a 45.
Okay.
It could be. It could be 50%
Okay.
tax. It'd be the most, right?
Right.
So the most divided by 3 would be like
Then each get 11 grand.
Wow, this says if you inherit a Roth, that's
But that's 11 grand according to that guy's bracket, if he was in the highest bracket. If you inherit, whatever part was not taxed is taxed. That's all, when you inherit.
But isn't Liberty Tax Service like H&R Block? They're kind of not really super efficient. I would speak to this guy, whoever prepared his brother's tax return. I would call him and find out how he treated the inheritance.
This says you will pay taxes on the amount of distribution, but no 10% early withdrawal
Right,
penalty.
right, of course.
Yeah, so it'd be according to their tax situation.
Yeah,
but
that's exactly
But wouldn't
right.
you want to know how his brother's CPA handled the inheritance, just out of curiosity?
Well, he said it was made more. I think this guy is wrong. Incorrectly, unless he's in very high tax bracket.
But he said they're about the same.
Yeah, but there's no way on 22,000 you're going to pay fucking. Well, no,
Exactly. Well,
that's 30. That's a 30%
Right.
bracket.
32%
He
bracket.
could easily be
Right.
in a 30% bracket.
Well,
Easily.
I guess easily. When is this? What are the tax brackets?
I have no idea, but because I never get in them. But I'll tell you that it's easy to be 30%.
ED pills really don't work for me. Men, we hear this all the time. Because for many men, pills just don't do the job.
Are you still using Mallory for your taxes? Do you use Mallory for your tax? Just Mark that uses him?
Yeah, I mean Mallory's a good guy.
Oh, he would have to be over 200,000.
Tommy, I'm not sure if we got the right expert. If he and his brother got the same amount of money, one guy said Liberty Tax is screwing
First
up.
of all, they're taxed on their they're taxed on their income level.
So it's not on the amount. So if you inherited $5,000 from Ken and I inherited $5,000 from Ken,
We wouldn't pay anything.
We would have different tax brackets?
No, we wouldn't pay a dime. We only pay money on qualified. The only tax paid is on qualified money because it wasn't paid before. Otherwise, if I give you $1 million in my retirement,
then why would he and his brother? Do you know he's being told on $22,000 he owes $15,000 in taxes
no, he's
on
not.
it?
He owes $7 on that. He owes $22 overall.
It was on.
But on that IRA, he owes $7.
And his brother is being told he owes $3. Okay.
Right. So see, that's what
they're
I'm getting
separate
at.
issues.
That's right. If you're in the 10% tax bracket, you're only on $22,000. You're going to pay $2,200. Right. If you're in a 40% bracket, you're going to pay more. So it doesn't. That part doesn't bother me.
Okay.
I mean, that part. He doesn't understand that. You pay on your bracket.
Okay.
But you don't pay the penalty.
He would have to make it over $160,000, being 32%.
That's what I'm going to find out. I mean,
I kept Blake on for you.
Yeah. Good.
Okay.
But see, remember this, Sue, is you don't pay on inheritance ever, except for money that hadn't been taxed previously. But if I have money in the bank and give it to you, you don't pay tax on that.
So
that's
if you
what's
had
wonderful about
$1 million
inheritance.
in the bank and left it to me,
You
I don't
don't
pay
pay
because you
dime.
already pay taxes.
Right. Exactly.
It's not new income that I pay taxes
That's
on.
right.
I didn't know that.
It's wonderful. That's why inheritance is wonderful. In fact, yeah, I can give it to you ahead of time, and you don't pay tax on it. I give you $1 million tomorrow, you wouldn't pay tax.
Well, let's try it.
Yeah.
You would not pay
Why don't
tax.
you give us each $300,000, and let's see how our accountants handle it.
Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Here's what's important, folks. I need to tell you this, okay? I want to make this clear, and I think it's something a lot of people get wrong. Blake Harris is with us, Mile High Estate Planning. Tom had a tax question. First and foremost, I want to make this very simple. If I leave anyone money, regular money, they don't pay tax on it. I can leave Suze $1 million. She doesn't pay tax on it. I can give her a gift of $1 million. She doesn't pay tax on it. The only reason we're talking about taxes for this inheritance is because it's not regular money. It's money, presumably, in a qualified plan, because it's an IRA, where tax had not been paid before. So when you inherit qualified money that was not taxed previously, you pay tax only on that amount that was not taxed, but you do not pay income tax on it. I know that sounds weird. You are paying the tax on that retirement, but you don't then claim it as income beyond that. So it gets screwy. But Blake, does each recipient pay according to their tax bracket, or is it for the donor's tax bracket?
From what I understand, it's actually going to be based on your individual tax bracket, which would cause the discrepancy in
Exactly.
why the funds.
So let's put it in simple terms. If each of us inherited money that was in a retirement plan that had never been taxed before, if I got $500,000 and my brother got $500 and my sister got $500, we would pay tax on that money based on our income tax bracket.
Correct.
Okay, so Tom, the $22,000, there will be tax on the 22 for each of you. Each pay tax on their 22 based on their tax bracket. That is not a function of fairness or unfairness. It's a function of whether the tax man is qualified, incompetent, or stupid and made mistakes. What tax bracket are you in? I'm talking about normally. Are you in the 30% bracket, the 40%, the 20%? What bracket are you in?
Well, I think I'm about a 20%. I'm a retired teacher through Para.
What is your total income per year?
$43,000 is what my retirement
It's about
pays.
30% bracket, I think, right?
About 22%.
22%, okay. So 22%. So if you're in the 22% bracket, then you pay 22% in taxes on that 22.
Right.
And your brother, what bracket is he in?
Right. Well, they're charging me over 30%, though.
Well, then go somewhere else. They're idiots.
Yeah, they're wrong.
They're wrong.
Well, I know. Well, I know. They're saying that's what our system tells us. It doesn't make sense to us.
Here's why. Because they're counting it twice. They're taxing that. Here's what they're doing. They're taxing it as an entity that didn't pay tax. Then they're adding it to your income and saying now you're taxed on that. I know that's what they're doing because that's how the math comes out. You're being taxed basically your 20% bracket twice. Do you know what I mean? They took the inheritance and said, okay, this much is owed to the government. Then they take that net amount and add it to your income. And you're not supposed to do that because that's already been paid.
I know what they're doing. They're adding a 10% penalty. That makes it 32.
That's the other thing. You don't have to pay the 10% early withdrawal penalty when you inherit it, Tom.
Right.
So,
well, can you give me the name of a good tax guy then, Tom? Because I don't want to go back to Liberty.
Yeah, okay. By the way, Blake Harris is milehighestatePlanning.com. And we use Atlas CPAs and advisors and financial advisors for taxes. Drain problems are worrisome. How much to clear?
He wanted a tax cut. That's what they're doing. They're adding a 10%.
Well, it could be. But all you have to do is go to him and say, how are you handling this? Call up his brother's CPA.
But couldn't they have done what you said makes sense? But I don't think they're that stupid.
Oh, I bet you they are, because I'll bet you they said just IRA money. Boom. And they plugged it in.
Right.
And then so it did the 22.
Not inheritance.
Right.
You are right. That would come out almost exactly.
Exactly. It would. It would, 32%.
But don't you think the simplest thing is ask Liberty, how did you handle this? And then you call up his CPA.
If they put it in twice, it would come out a little more. Right? Because what would, if he was in the 20% bracket, that would be 4,000. And then they put it in again as take 4 away from 22.
Is 18.
Then they would tax him on 18,
but it
which
would never
would be another.
But it would never come out to 15,000, which is what he's saying.
No.
Right.
But 15 wasn't the amount on that.
No, that's what he's saying.
7.
He said it was
which is
7.
32%.
He said it was
And
7.
his brother's paying 10%.
He said
okay.
that he was paying a total of tax of 15, and 7 of it was due to this.
Okay.
But I'll bet the other guy is paying too little if they're roughly the same income.
They're morons.
Like say,
well, you don't know what kind of deductions his brother had. His brother could have 10.
You're right.
His brother could have 10 kids
you're right.
and have a business.
You're right. But they also should not be going by what they got back last year. That's a very simplistic.
But all I'm saying is, you ask Liberty, how did you handle this? You call up his brother's CPA and say, how did you handle this? And you compare the two and see what mechanisms they use.
But you know where they're getting this from is they're just getting what they had paid last year.
Right. They probably use TurboTax and charge people for it.
Unless he should do his own taxes. That's another thing, reason good for doing your own taxes if you got a simplistic.
If you right.
You understand.
Exactly.
Here's man, I'll tell you. I didn't. Wait. Oh, we got 2 hours to go. Okay, good. I have a lot to do. I was distressed. I wasn't going to get everything done. I'm ready.
The owner of this 7-Eleven store in Riverville, New Jersey, northwest of New York City, is under arrest after a customer says that.
Do you use Mallory?
No, I have a guy I've been using who's just been. I've had the same hairdresser since I moved to Denver.
You use a hairdresser?
I mean the same lady that cuts my hair. I have the same accountant since I moved to Denver.
If you like them.
The same financial planner.
I should. You know, when you say dentist, when I first moved to Denver, I had a dentist. Every time I went there, twice a year, I had something wrong.
Really?
I got rid of her. I'll bet you I went 15 years without anything.
Who do you go to now?
This guy over there.
There's so many dentists in town.
Yeah, I can't remember his name. But I like him. Like I say, there's, you need to do this. Oh, you need to do that. Oh, you need to do that. Seriously, every time.
Well, then she's just churning.
And I think they were just like I say, making money.
Yeah, I never respected people who did that.
Oh, I know. I agree. And you're right. Doctors don't normally do that.
We don't. I mean, first of all,
you don't go in there and say, "Hey, did you want a boy or a girl?"
Yeah, first of all, we have review boards that I once got called down because for like 6 months, had a high C-section rate. And they made me go down. I said, you know, I will come and I will defend every one of my. It just happened to be statistical that in this period, I said I will come down and defend every single decision I made. But they actually looked at it. I mean, there are review boards in hospitals that do stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah. I thought they mostly I thought people liked to go to C-sections, or did you usually leave it up to unless there was a problem in pregnancy, did you leave it up to your
No,
client?
we didn't do elective C-sections for no reason.
No, but did you leave it up to the client? Client says, hey, I don't want to go through it, I want a C-section.
Well, we said, look, you know, there's no reason that C-sections are operations, and unless there's a reason, you need to think about, you know, and then
Right, but if they had a
maybe
tough labor.
the tough labor, no. But the last 5 years, people were going. Last 5 years, I'd say from 210 to 215, people were doing more and more elective C-sections because patients wanted it.
Right.
They could call their mother-in-law to be there. Their husband could take off from work. Everything was planned.
You get on December 31st.
Exactly. We had a lot of inductions in December.
No, I mean, I can see people doing that.
Yeah. But like I said, 1,000 babies, they were all either boys or girls. There was none of this transgender crap.
What was it? What did I hear?
There's 14 genders, bud.
Right, there's only 2 sexes, though.
Nope.
In New York, there are 31.
Genders?
In New York State.
Honest to God, they recognize 31 genders.
Yep.
Come on.
It's crazy.
Everything's going to come tumbling down on that.
I know, because life is its own teacher. I've said it before.
Yep.
Okay. There was a discussion. I went to the film festival. They did a documentary on rom-coms. It was very well done. But then the screen went dark. And it said, however, trans people are not represented. Screen goes dark, comes back up. When will Hollywood and when will we respond to this injustice? Okay. And I said to myself, this has nothing to do with hate, has nothing to do with discrimination. It has everything to do with numbers. You fucking make candy because people like the flavor. You make movies because people want to see it. It is not something you can force. It is not something you can legislate. If people want to see movies about bridges falling, there will be movies about bridges falling. If people want to see them about airline hijacking, there will be airlines. If people want to see romance against with 2 people, of man and woman, and man, they will make them. Women and woman. If they want to make movies about trans, if the reason they're not has nothing to do with hate, has nothing to do with discrimination, it's something that you cannot legislate. How many people will go? I mean, if you have, even if you had the entire gay community go and trans community, it's not enough to sustain a film when it takes $20 million to make one. It's not because they hate them.
Right, it's because the whole thing is like it's the same with hiring people. You hire the best people,
Well,
regardless.
you hope they hire the best.
No, but you hire the people you think are the best, regardless of their race, religion, or gender.
Yeah, but that is different than the discussion I'm having,
Yeah.
truly. Because there are people that don't get the chance to be there. That's different.
You might have an interviewer who is prejudiced.
What I'm saying is there might be candidates that don't even find out about the open.
Right. Well, that's true.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK. 713-8255. This hour brought to you by RealCBDThatWorks.com, Panacea Life Sciences. I say real CBD because CBD works, no matter where you get it. But when I say that, be caution. That doesn't mean you buy anything, because most brands don't represent true, pure CBD in their product. They don't. The extraction methods are sloppy. The doses are not honest. But at Panacea Life Sciences, you can depend on the dosages and the scientific labs in Golden. And they're a national company, just happen to be here in Golden. RealCBDThatWorks.com. Put Martino in the coupon code and get 20% off realcbdthatworks.com. Okay, so we've been talking about a number of things, but I do want to talk about the coronavirus. It truly is nothing more than a form of common cold, except it's not. The thing that makes it different, it does do some tissue damage, if not controlled, which can leave some disabilities or cut down your immune system. And if that happens, it can do substantial damage. So people with compromised systems can get sicker, but no more than the flu and no more than any other disease. So why are we hyping on this? For one, it's the transmission rate. It's higher than most. But the conditions, the symptoms are no more severe. This is not a panic situation, but we are panicking because the media has chosen to make it a real big deal. I don't know why they haven't done it with other things. I don't know why. But I have talked to doctors and read research. It's not research. There's not a lot of research. I've read papers and I've read a lot of information on it. And there is nothing special about this other than the rapid transmission rate. There is some fear that even though the symptoms do not kill people any more rapidly than the flu, or in fact it has a better survival rate than flu, but that it can leave people with a compromised immune system after that. There's some concern about that, and there's also some concern that because of how fast it does spread, it can mutate. And they think it could be a really big breeding ground for something else. But so far, the actual coronavirus is not to be feared like it's being portrayed. That doesn't mean you be reckless. We should all be washing hands, sanitizing, and taking care of ourselves and being healthy. Yeah, we should. But I promise you that so far, there's nothing that rises to the level of panic we're having in the media. And there are simple ways to take care of it. Now, Doc, Deputy Doc, we happen to have the privilege of a retired doc on our staff, retired. So, Deputy Doc, you wanted to interject something.
Well, the difference is that it's not an upper respiratory infection. The significance of the coronavirus is that it affects the lung tissue. And once it gets into the lungs, it causes inflammation. Inflammation causes some swelling. And the swelling of the little sacs in the lung that exchange oxygen in the blood are compromised. So the big difference is that the coronavirus causes shortness of breath and significant decrease in your ability to transmit oxygen from the lungs into the blood.
Okay.
Whereas a common cold does not do that.
Okay.
And the danger is that once you have compromised lung function, you need a ventilator. And with a common cold, you don't need that.
Okay.
That's a big, significant difference.
Okay, that is a significant difference because you're talking about someone in moderate health that may never need assistance breathing with a normal disease will need it with this.
Absolutely.
That's moderate health.
Right.
Poor health for sure, almost.
Right. And there are...
So the level of care, even though you can get a bad flu and ride it out at home, the level of care for this specific strain, the level of care is more intense.
Exactly.
That's important. Because it does put a significant load on the healthcare system.
Right. And
okay.
I must interject. Don't hoard toilet paper.
All right.
There's no.
But what is?
I don't get that. What's up with that?
And the voice you're hearing is our guest today, and we're talking. He's with Zero Res Denver, and where's my sheet here? I wanted to.
Just while you're looking at it, the
we didn't know you were coming in today.
The flu does not cause diarrhea.
I don't have a sheet. It doesn't matter. We love having you. Was he going to come in tomorrow?
I have him scheduled for next month. I'm not sure,
month.
Tommy.
Oh, that's great. I'm glad you dropped in because you know why?
Hey, that's news to me then.
No. Somehow got me. Who cares, right? You're welcome. We don't have anyone here. And what's good is you can talk about seriously empowered water, but not right now. I want to talk about it does kill virus, doesn't it, or not? Oh,
it can and it does. Our A water side does. We're not going to make that the B water. It has some sanitizing effect and properties to it, but I legally can't make that claim from the EPA because we haven't paid them all the money that they want from that. So
the sanitizing effects are there. We can't say what it kills and what it doesn't.
Correct.
But everyone knows having a clean house is going to help.
It's going to help. A cleaner surface. It's a safer surface. That's going to help hands down every day, every time. But we're never going to say, hey, we can sanitize your home and disinfect your home so you're not going to get the coronavirus. We would never do that. Can't make that claim. Never will make that claim.
But man, think about kids walking around. We have to understand how it's transmitted, too. Does it have to be an actual molecule from the breath?
Yeah, it has to be.
It can't be touch.
No. What if you?
I mean, touch in itself.
No, if you expel the virus and it's on a surface, then you pick it up and then it gets transmitted through the mucous membranes.
Okay. But if I pick it up on my hands from a carpet, if I wash my hands technically and the right way, it won't be transmitted when I touch my face.
Correct.
And technically, if I touch my face, it may not get into my eyes or nose or mouth.
Right. The virus doesn't move, but if you touch your eyes, your nose, your mouth with the virus particle on your hand, it's going to get into your bloodstream.
And so,
and then it's going to go to your lungs.
When we talk about a virus, it's a living thing, right?
Well, more or less, it's a living thing in that it needs a cell in order to reproduce. In other words, if you have a virus particle on anything but a living cell, you're going to have one virus. As soon as it gets into the living cell, it takes over the cell's mechanism and reproduces millions of virus particles of itself. But it can't reproduce without hijacking the mechanisms inside the cell.
So sitting dormant somewhere doesn't hurt it. Doesn't help it. And won't transmit it.
It'll be one virus particle.
How long will the virus particles? I sneeze. It comes out on this counter.
With this virus, how long will it live? 2 days is what they're saying.
So that's extraordinary.
Yes.
Because normally they don't live that long.
Well, it depends on the virus. I'm not an expert on how long other viruses, but I've read that this one will last.
No, like. Okay.
About 2 days. I don't know about the other ones.
Is the common cold a virus? We call it, by the way, we call it a common cold. There's about 15,000 of them, but they're all viruses.
All viruses.
This is different in do other cold viruses need a mechanism, an organism to multiply?
Any virus needs a living cell in order to reproduce.
Okay. Enough said. Do all viruses attack mucous membranes?
For the most part, yes.
Why can't we absorb it through the skin and get it?
Because you have a bunch of layers of dead cells on top of your skin, and the virus doesn't have the mechanism to penetrate.
So it's the eyes and nose and mouth. What about ear?
No.
Okay. So if we were to describe mucus, it is basically where you have no protection to the open world. It is the lining of your mouth, your tongue, the raw, for lack of a better word, it's the skinless part of your body.
Correct.
It's the skinless part.
Where you don't have dead cells over a portion of your body.
I understand that.
That's what it is.
But if I had a cut, could it get into my... Okay. So it's basically, it has to get to membranes that are
not protected by dead skin.
That are absorbent.
Exactly.
All right. I didn't realize how important dead skin is. I mean, is most of our epidural level dead skin?
Yeah. Almost
everything. We're shedding it.
Yeah.
Average person sheds 4 pounds of dead skin a
Really?
Yep. In your home.
I knew I was getting thinner. 303-713-TALK. Mike, what's going on with you, Mike?
Hi, Tom.
What's happening?
I did a service change on an apartment I have, and
yes, sir.
They put a new meter in, and I got the first bill for unit number 9, and it's 2158 kilowatt hours. for 11 days.
2158. And how does that compare to the rest of yours?
That's way high. This is a one-bedroom.
Well, what is it normally?
Yeah. I can tell you.
Just roughly.
Split.
No one wants to hear you read your kilowatts. We just want to know roughly.
Maybe 1,000 for the month.
So this is more. This is a little more than double.
Yeah, this is 11 days, though. This isn't even the whole month.
Oh, you're right.
So it's triple his bill.
Now, how do you know how many kilowatts in 11 days?
That's the bill I got.
But how do you know it's only? Why is it only 11 days? Are you new there?
It's on. No, I own the building, and there was some confusion when we did the switchover.
What switchover?
So, I put a new electrical service when we did the new electrical service.
Do you own a building? Are these apartments, sir?
Yes, they're apartments.
Okay. And this one is yours, or is it left over?
It's somebody lives there. This unit was on with the house panel. We separated the house panel and this unit.
Okay.
We did the service upgrade.
And when you did that, you found 11 days, 2150 kilowatts.
Right.
So what is your question? What do you do? Is that your question?
Yeah, I've talked to them till I'm blue in the face.
Well, they'll come out and test the meter.
They did, but all they did was say that I had the house and number 9 swapped around, which I don't. I checked. I confirmed that this morning.
So what do you do? What do you do when you have a situation of high consumption? If you don't have a meter switched, well, then you're consuming it. I mean, when you turn the main power off to that meter, is it still spinning?
No, it's not.
Well, then you have something taking power. I don't know what else what the answer would be, Mike. You have a one-bedroom that's consuming something somewhere. It's not it's not Excel's problem if you're consuming electricity. The problem is finding it. Hold on a sec. Hold on.
Weekdays 2 to 4.
The situation. Dude, I've got it on my schedule to be here today, but if you guys aren't planning me,
hey, throw the bum out. Throw the bum out.
Hey,
I know that
take
we're
advantage of it.
We
just happen to have a cancellation, so now this is fortuitous.
I know we're moving forward to have you start
I know.
doing some radio spots.
I got all the notes, all the new spots.
So Tom, that help with the virus info?
Yeah.
Good.
Are you leaving?
Shane, can I use the what's that? Hold on. I gotta know what spots I didn't do. I did Duran.
I told you that happened to me once with one bill with my water. I told you that.
With water is a little.
I've been in that house for 10 years. For every single month, my bill was between $35 and $36 because I was living by myself. I had 1 month where it was $200. They never found the source, and they would never refund the money.
But you think it was a manual read, though, right?
Whatever it was, they said this is what it read, blah blah blah, and they came out. The builder came out. They never were able to understand why the water consumption was that high for 1 month. There was no flooding. I never, there was. I mean, you understand if you have a flood.
Were you on vacation or anything?
No.
Okay, I was just wondering if your toilet was stuck or
I was
something.
home.
How much? 200? Holy cow, that's a lot more.
I know.
Maybe
I think it was 185 or
watering,
something. It couldn't. Maybe my neighbor was doing it, but they. But I was home, and you would think. I said, "Oh my God, maybe there was a flood or something under the basement or somewhere I couldn't see it."
Well,
you gonna have a special?
3 for $99.
Damn, you make it different every time.
No, it's always been 3 for $99.
3 for $99. Wait, right now we're running 3 for $119 on the radio.
Wait, I have your new one here somewhere.
So 3 for $99. Well, I appreciate the.
Last one was 33.
33 per room. We were doing
unlimited rooms.
Yeah.
Want that?
Nope. We're done.
As always,
3 for $99.
As always, I do a few things. You'll hear me talk.
Yep. Well, sorry about that. I was hustling. I'm like, dude, I got to get up there. I like my calendar and.
It's good. It's good.
So folks, how are you doing today?
This way he doesn't have to talk to just me and Dan.
I don't get the coronavirus.
No, it's good. We're talking about cleaning.
The whole hubbub about it.
Because
Does it
Freaking
leave
out about
damage after it leaves you? Are your lungs damaged?
No. Once you get, it can be damaged.
Well, I need a ventilator.
Will you?
Yes.
It depends on the extent of the damage. It depends on how much.
If I get the disease, will I?
Probably not, because you're young and you're healthy and you don't have any pre-existing conditions.
The crazy thing was, I've got a good friend of mine. 2 people were on that cruise ship that were quarantined in Japan. They got death threats. Coming back home, people said, if we see you outside your home, we will kill you.
Really?
It is freaking nuts. Yeah. They had CDC clearance.
K&H Home Solutions is the company to call for windows, siding, doors, and more. K&H has what you're looking for right now. You have 30% off window siding and doors. And guess what? That is an amazing savings, especially when you consider Everlast siding. That is an extraordinary siding, and I call it the best siding anywhere, and I mean that. I mean, you can soak that thing in water and nothing will happen to it. And they have beautiful windows, and they stand behind those windows. I've had them come out to my home with their lifetime warranty. You wouldn't believe it. 20 years later, I went to a house where I saw a K&H window and said, you have K&H windows. She said, yeah, but it was 15 years ago. I said, call them. They came and replaced that felt seal or thing around it. 303-421-7100, a company that stands behind its products and has great products, especially the Everlast siding, their beautiful windows, and of course, the doors, Provio doors, are wonderful. 30% off right now. 303-421-7100, khwindows.com.
Report is sponsored by CVS.
You know what's interesting also about the virus? Usually most viruses have a U-shaped curve where the very young and the very old are affected. Very young kids are not getting affected by the coronavirus.
Some don't even know they have it.
And they're trying to figure out why there's such a low incidence, which is great. I mean...
So is this just a new strain
Yeah.
of the coronavirus? The coronavirus has been around for a long time. Coronavirus has been around for a long time.
No.
But this strain...
Yeah, it's a... Coronaviruses are very common.
Yes.
But this is a different strain of coronavirus.
So that what they're calling it COVID-19?
COVID, right.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Welcome to the show. And the reason they call it Corona, little trivia. You know why? Because of its shape under a microscope. Looks like a little sun with the spikes coming out of it.
And coronavirus beer is down 16%. Corona beer. People think there's
is that really right? That's so stupid.
I know it's
Kenny,
stupid.
what is your take on this, sir? You're in emergency medicine. What is your take on this?
Yeah, so what you said is kind of confusing. So you stated that the rate of death for the flu is higher. Actually, the rate of death for flu is not higher. Many more millions of people get the flu, which would have a higher death count. But the death rate for the flu is 0.1%, whereas the death rate for coronavirus is closer to 2%, which would make it 20 times higher.
So 20 times higher people dying from this than the flu?
Correct.
Okay, so when people say the flu is killing more people, they simply mean because more people are getting it.
Millions of people are getting it, exactly, right. So more people die from it, but the rate
What you're saying, right, out of 1,000 people, more people will die from this if they get it than 1,000 people with the flu.
Correct.
And where'd you get those stats? I don't have stats either way. I just...
I would ask, if the doctor's still on the phone, I would ask the doctor.
Okay. All right. As far as the transmission rate, it's pretty high. I don't know what normal transmission rates are, by the way, but they say 2.5 is high. So what's a normal transmission rate for a virus? Do we know? Is it like 1.1?
It depends on the virus.
But 2.5, they say, is high. So that means each person with it affects 2.5 others, right? As opposed to normal transmission rates, they say is 1-to-1 or 1.5. 1 to 1.5. 303-713-TALK. Now, a super high energy bill, Mike. This is what we have normally done is they would inspect the meter and they would see if the meter's correct. And they say that the meter is operating correctly. Is that right?
I believe so. All they told me was that they were switched, which they aren't.
Well, hold on. When they said they're switched, What did they base that on?
I don't know. The meter numbers that I have on my bill match. The meter number matches number 9, and the meter number matches the house.
But maybe, they meant the wire. It was wired differently. Maybe, I don't know. Why would they say that though? What's the upside for them lying to you about it? I mean, that's a pretty serious an accusation or serious assessment, saying they are wired. In other words, switch them. They're saying the meter. They're saying the meter you're reading in that one-bedroom apartment is not for the one-bedroom. It may have the same number as the bill, but it doesn't mean that the wiring going from the house goes through that meter. They're saying it goes through another meter.
I confirmed it this morning. I'm a master electrician. I did all the work.
You're a master electrician. Then you literally followed the home runs to that meter.
Yeah, I did just this morning, and.
Okay, since you're a master electrician, this is wonderful. If you're a master electrician, then tell me why you have excess, because that's who we would call. They would go to your home and find the energy consumption.
I think they put a meter in that wasn't zeroed out, and so I had a high reading. But after that bill, that first reading, it went right down where it should be.
Oh, you didn't tell me that part. So, in other words, it was only the first reading.
Speculation on my part, and they say that's impossible. So,
well, hold on. It's speculation that it wasn't set to 0, but it's not speculation that it went down. So, how many kilowatt hours did you get for the next 11-day period? Or 30-day? Give me anything. Give me a kilowatt reading. You got 2150 in 11 days. What did you get for a billing period?
So it went to about 37.5 kilowatts per day. It went down to that on the next billing.
And 37.5 on the next billing. So you're saying that 11 days only was screwed up because, or that month, that first cycle, because it wasn't set to 0? Is it a brand new meter?
Yeah, it's a brand new meter. They said it's impossible for that to happen, but
something consumed the power for that meter to tick up to 2150 for 11 days. But the good news is it's not an ongoing problem. So what did that? Did that? If you take out normal consumption, how much extra do you think you actually paid?
It's not much. It's a couple $100. It's the principle of the deal right now.
And listen, I don't blame you, but all you're going on is your hunch. You have nothing else to go on.
Mike, is this a digital meter?
Yeah, it's a brand new digital meter.
Can't you go in there and read per day? Can't you go on their website and read per day for your meter?
They said I can't. They said they don't do that. I know they do on commercial meters, but
you just told me it went down to 37.5 a day. How did you discern that?
From the bill that I got, and I did the math.
Yeah,
so that's why I have 37.5 a day.
Mike, if this was any other energy company, we would have somebody we could talk to. But this Xcel Energy doesn't give a damn about anyone. They just don't. They're not responsive. Okay. I mean, I hate to tell you that.
Somebody there.
No, we used to have someone at Xcel. Do we have anyone there anymore?
We do, Tom. We got a connection back.
Is it worth a damn?
Well, it depends. But, yeah, we can send it over.
I would like to know this particular case. He's worried about 11 days at 2150. But we don't know if it's 11 days. Did it go on for the rest of that billing period?
No, I think it went right back down.
So
after that billing period, because I went out there right away.
How long was that billing period?
The next one?
No, the one with the 2150 kilowatts. How long was that period?
It was 11 days.
So that was the whole billing period. That was the whole billing period, 11 days. Right. They didn't carry over. What about that apartment on a previous? How much consumption did it have prior to that 11 days?
It had about 1,000 kilowatts a month.
But I mean, something happened, and again, I don't want to keep driving this. Something happened when you switched over, and you're not accounting for. I mean, did you switch over perfectly at the end of one cycle and the beginning of another? And if so, why were the first 11 days so high? and the whole bill was a couple hundred more. Well, to be a couple hundred more can't be that much. I mean, in other words, there's not that much going on. It could have been cold or something. I don't really know, but I know this, Mike. It's a digital meter. They check the accuracy. It's not switched. So you have nothing left except you use the energy. I don't know what, by process of elimination. You can't just, I mean, otherwise everyone who doesn't like their bill could simply say, oh, by the way, I don't think this is accurate. There's nothing to go on.
Could a neighbor tap in anyway?
Yeah, but for 11 days?
Yeah, that's a little odd.
I mean, and then they didn't? It just doesn't make sense. It was for 11 days. That one bill was high, and that's it. Everything else is normal. I don't know. What is going on with Tony? Tony.
Yes.
A Denver Post problem. Are you calling about not being able to get it delivered?
Yes. You know, I would have my husband go online, but he won't do that. He likes the Post. And
yeah, God Almighty, God love him, because it's going away. I mean, papers. I mean, my goodness gracious!
He loves the crossword. He likes the sports page. He likes to sit and read it in the morning. We're older.
Yeah. No, I get it. I get it. People like it, but you know what? Here's another area where they don't care.
That's what I thought.
I mean, they don't. They're not even making it. Delivery to them is a loss right now. Home delivery is in the loss column. So
I believe that, because it costs so much to get it online.
Now, and I hate to say, well, Tony, sorry, you know, it sucks. Everybody's moving away from it. Why should you want it? If you're paying for it, you should get it. And is that what you're? So is that what you're telling me?
If you had more complaints.
Yes, we've had tons of complaints.
There's nothing we can do.
If we get a complaint about the Denver Post circulation, door to door, house to house, usually Suzanne, have we ever gotten a response about a circulation problem?
Not in a long time.
They turn it over. They say it's their carrier's problem. And the carrier doesn't care. No one cares. It's one of those dying things that no one cares about.
This is Denver's Talk Station with Tom Martino now.
It's too bad. I mean, people don't like hearing that, but it's just so true.
So have you got anybody called in or talked about the proposal pushing the tax date or payroll taxes, suspending payroll taxes from Trump? He's proposing to suspend payroll taxes for businesses and individuals for a period of time if the coronavirus continues to increase.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So it would be a tax break? Really?
And they're talking about pushing the April 15th deadline back.
Yeah.
So people hold on to their cash and, I mean, it's nuts. But I can see cruise lines and airlines are getting hammered for it right now. Big time.
Oil industry. No.
Buy and build. So listen, you understand. I got to do this.
Yeah, you're good.
I love buy and build because it's great for your contractor. It's great for you. It's great all the way around. If you're a do-it-yourselfer, you go there. Buy and Build does wholesale or below wholesale cabinets, vanities, granite, tile, hardwoods, plumbing, and electrical fixtures for pennies on the dollar. They have a new location, 560 South Lipan. If you get nothing else, get that new location, 560 South Lipan, just west on Alameda from I-25 and then south 2 blocks, 560 South Lipan. 303-295-6022, buyandbuild.net, below wholesale. But here's the new part. Not only the new location, they also do installation if you want as part of the deal. Buyandbuild.net. What I was going to say is, I don't remember the last time you were in. I was saying some things, and then after the show, I'm thinking, did I ever tell Shane that I was kidding when I said Bernie's going to be elected?
No.
You knew I was kidding, right?
I thought so, but then you kind of pressed a little bit, and I was like, maybe he does.
I do that to these guys all the time.
Well,
I don't even know why it came to my mind. I don't know why.
You were just trying to start a fight.
No, I was trying to start a discussion. And what I was really saying is, is that the way the country's swinging, it won't happen now.
He's
but
toast.
God, here's two things could happen. All of this social bullshit could backfire and we go back to basics, or just the opposite. I mean, we are going too far to try to please and accommodate everyone in the fucking world.
I know.
You can't do it. Now, you shouldn't hate people, but you can't change the entire structure of society.
It doesn't. That's what I have a problem with.
He was telling me
People
there's 31
equate it-
genders now
Yeah.
recognized.
People equate it to, if you stand on values or you stand on a subject or a topic,
you're hateful.
By default,
You're
you're
hateful.
hating the other person. That's such bullcrap.
That is bullcrap. You don't hate
such
people.
bullcrap. And so, I don't. But the thing about this, talking about presidential election, I think Biden has dementia.
Oh, I agree.
You go listen to the clips. I think he's got dementia.
And I'm not trying to start a fight. My problem is he scares me more than certain because he has a better chance of getting elected.
I agree with that. There's no doubt about it. But I think
Because
he's
I
losing
think
it.
the Democrats aren't ready to destroy and burn up their entire party. Because once they have a socialist run, it's over.
It's done.
Yeah. What'll happen is, I think what could happen now, except he says it won't happen, is a third party.
I believe strongly that a third party will eventually, and within the near future, be developed.
I don't know, because it won't be very. It'll have to hurt one of the other parties.
Without a doubt.
And which
Well,
party
the
will
third
it be?
party, if Bernie went off, would hurt them.
Of course.
Yeah. I think it's going to be called
I just
something
looked up
like the
some
American
CDC stats.
Revolution Party, or
For 2018 to 2019, there were 35 million cases of the flu. 500,000 people hospitalized and 34,000 people died, which is about a 1% death rate. So far, the best stats they have for this virus are about 3% mortality rate.
Oh, that's a high rate.
Yes, but we don't know how many people
Really
so
have it.
far. No,
Oh.
well, it hasn't run its course. In 2018, 2019, the CDC has statistics that whole year.
I'm afraid.
Since this doesn't, do you have an underlying lung condition? Then you don't have to worry about it.
I know, but I'm just afraid of getting sick.
Well, you might get
I am
sick.
more concerned about people's response than the illness itself.
They said, according to the CDC, 16% of people who are exposed will get serious illness.
Well, this guy that called up said it's 20 times higher.
Well, no, it's 3 times higher.
But that's what he had said.
Right.
But is this in the U.S. or is this in China? Is this in
Well,
South Korea?
no. In the U.S. for last year it was 1%.
No.
I know what I'm saying. So far, the only region they have good statistics are for China,
You're racist
because
if you call it
Well,
the
and
Wuhan.
again, remember, you're talking smokers,
Right.
you're talking about
Right,
worse.
right, I know.
Hateful if you call it
Right.
the China flu or the Wuhan
Wahoo.
flu. The Wuhan flu.
Sorry,
No, you're
Shane.
good.
Tom, heads up real quick. Rick, his sister bought a home in January and has since found documentation that the previous homeowner knew about asbestos in the house. There was a report. Do you want me to get that real estate attorney on for that? Did you like him?
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
No matter what, he's got to be.
Actually, we'd probably get Frank Duran on for that.
Would you rather have Frank on?
But Frank doesn't take. Have you noticed Frank doesn't really take a stand on anything?
He plays it safe, but some
No,
people
because
just play it safe.
No, he's not. He's a real estate broker, and he doesn't want to
And he's got a
say
heart of
something
gold,
wrong.
Shane.
Oh, he's
The
a
guy-
wonderful.
he-
He's the best in the world.
he's like Aaron Burr in Hamilton. Don't take a stand, right? That was Aaron Burr's whole thing in Hamilton.
It all
yeah.
depends. That's his response. It all depends.
Right.
First talk station, available everywhere with the iHeartRadio app. Now #1 for podcasting. 630 KHOW, an iHeartRadio station.
I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK. We have Zero Res Denver.com here. Zero Res is a carpet cleaning process patented because of empowered water. The reason I mention it is everybody is interested in having cleaner homes and better homes because of this virus. We should always be worried about it. If this virus actually makes us all have better hygiene habits, it's a good deal. I mean, if we had to have the crap scared out of us. Now, the death rate is actually around 3% so far. It hasn't run its course. Deputy Doc, you looked up also the flu? What is the influenza?
Well, from last year, for which they have total statistics.
Is one?
From 2018 to 2019, it was about 1%.
Is the influenza?
Is the death rate for flu,
the influenza,
for the common flu.
All right. And for this so
far they really only have good statistics for China because and it's about 3%.
And could that be because in China, they have a higher death rate in China because of the healthcare system?
They could, obviously, and also because, as Deputy Dan pointed out, a lot of people in China smoke. We have a significantly lower number of the population that smokes in the United States.
Okay. So why do you think people are so afraid? It has to be because there is a death rate and it's a little higher than normal, right?
And because people are getting this disease. It's so contagious that people.
What about swine flu? Well, remember that? And then we had the bird flu, didn't we? Didn't we have?
We had the bird flu and the swine flu, and this is much more similar to MERS.
Are they working on a vaccine?
I don't know.
Or is there? First of all, I need to know this because I just don't know. Are there vaccines for viruses?
Yes.
Like
measles vaccine.
Polio is not a virus. What was polio? Is polio a virus?
It's a virus.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Smallpox is a virus.
Okay. So most of these serious diseases are viruses. Now, why do we have antibiotics, but we don't have antivirals? We don't have things that kill viruses as effectively as we have with our antibodies for fighting.
Well, it goes back to what we said earlier. Bacterial cells reproduce, so antibiotics interfere with the ability of a bacteria to reproduce, and viruses
hijack.
Don't reproduce unless they get into a cell. So the only way you can stop the reproduction is to kill that cell. So you have to let the body's own mechanisms deal with the virus.
And that's why there are vaccines.
That's why there are vaccines
instead of treatment.
Exactly.
So with treatment, because you don't have a bacterial infection to fight with an antibiotic, to treat it, what do you do to treat it, other than to make the mechanism around the virus healthy?
Normally, it's just supportive care.
To make the organism healthier so it can fight better.
Exactly.
Will you automatically fight a virus?
Yeah, but the question is whether or not your body is primed to fight that particular virus and what the consequences are of the virus. Like I said, if you get a common cold, it's an upper respiratory virus and it doesn't significantly affect your body. Whereas with this virus, it affects your lungs, and once it affects your lungs and you have decreased oxygen in your blood, then you get organ failure from not having oxygen in the rest of your body.
Okay, so it's a little scarier. Let's put it in layman's terms.
It is a little scarier.
And 303-713-TALK. Now let's talk to Rick. By the way, we have many lines open for the first time today. And if you have any questions, we do have experts available, if not right here, to talk about the coronavirus. We can also talk about any of the finance issues going on around it. And then we have Zero Res here, Zero Res Denver. So what's going on, Rick?
Hey, Tom, I'll try to get to the chase. I'm calling on behalf of my sister. To use your term, I'm her consumer advocate.
Yeah, okay, good.
So she bought a home back in January, and the woman left her a box of information. And when she went through it, we found out that they did a remodel in the kitchen in 2012, and there was an asbestos abatement process that they went through that was not on the disclosure form. She checked no.
Hold on a second. What did the disclosure ask?
Under hazardous materials, section M, I think it is. Are you aware of any asbestos in the house? And there is paperwork in the box that when they did the remodel, they had to do an asbestos abatement process before they went ahead and tore down the wall.
No, I understand that. Then they abated it. It's gone. They took care of it. Or
no, it isn't. It's just in one section. And so, but they said it was no. That they said they weren't aware of any asbestos in the house. So there was still so she went ahead and did a report.
But okay, here's what I want to say in general. This is why I was asking that. In general, there are times people are asked about, is there a sewage problem? And if you fixed it, there's no more sewage problem. And if is there an asbestos problem, or is there asbestos and you abated it, you got rid of it, it's gone, you don't have an asbestos problem. Some disclosures ask, do you have an asbestos or ever had, or did you do, or did you ever have? So a lot depends on how it's written. They don't have a standard disclosure statement. I wish they did. But we're going to get a real estate attorney to address this. If you found out for sure there was asbestos in the home, and did it say it's still there? I thought you said they did an abatement.
No, it is. Well, just in the area that they remodeled.
Okay. All right. Got you.
Then
So
then she went further.
Go
She
ahead.
went further on her own. She went and got someone to come in, one of the asbestos people, and did an inspection. And she said there's still asbestos in the drywall in the bathrooms and in another wall that they wanted to remodel. So there's still asbestos in the areas that they were planning on remodeling.
And they knew it.
They would be the homeowner. The sellers knew it, yes.
Hold on.
Now, impact traffic.
This report is sponsored by CVS.
There's a few slow spots here and there in the drive across town. CDOT still doing some emergency road work in the center lane, eastbound I-70 between Sheridan and Federal. Backups almost to the I-76 interchange, so just travel through there with caution. Seeing a little bit of slowing downtown on northbound I-25 between Alameda and Colfax, westbound I-70.
That's one of the biggest.
It's
that's
so
a
fucking
huge problem
stupid.
because that's how these bacteria develop immunity.
What
They
did you say? I'm
mutate
sorry.
and they become resistant.
I don't have the sheet.
Tomorrow mostly sunny, chance of afternoon showers, a high near 51. Right now partly cloudy and
Yeah, it's crazy that,
with
you
your
know,
impact traffic and weather.
So you're finding doctors for a flu will give antibiotics.
which is crazy.
Well,
So like,
won't because
for like,
people are asking for it.
Well, you know, I think this whole thing about pharmaceutical advertising on TV is crazy.
Well, yeah, you advertise straight to the consumer.
It's crazy.
Yeah, but here it is. If you just go to the internet, you can find out even more information on this.
I would have patients that come into me and I'd say, I'm not going to give you this drug because this is what you need, not what the pharmaceutical company says you need. You know, you're coming to me basically for my expertise. You're not coming to me because of a commercial. And who are you going to trust more? Me as your doctor who cares about you, or a commercial that just wants to sell
BecomeTheBanker.org is the website. Become the Banker is a financial strategy where you on purpose overfund life insurance because the government lets you accumulate cash and earnings tax-free with life insurance so long as you have a certain formula. And Joe Chiano and Jordan Chiano, father and son team at BecomeTheBanker.org, keep you in line to make it the right way. And I'm going to say this. It's a great investment strategy. They also have other strategies as well, and you can trust them. BecomeTheBanker.org. You'll find out about their next seminar. BecomeTheBanker.org.
So I've got a question then. You hear a lot of people going to doctors and getting a Z-Pack.
Yeah.
Right. You've heard of that, right?
Right.
For
Z-Pack,
flu.
That's an antibiotic.
I know, but they're not feeling well, and so they're like, hey, let's go get a Z-Pack.
They're stupid.
Because the doctors are just giving them, they shouldn't be giving them a Z-Pack if they think it's a viral infection.
Because it's saying here, what are Z-Packs used to treat?
It's zithromycin. It's used to treat.
Well, it's a mix of a bunch of different stuff.
Well, no, it's zithromycin is what the drug is. It's zithromycin.
And so it says many different types of infections caused by bacteria, including infections of the lungs.
Right.
Right?
But those are
but it works if you have a bacterial infection.
So flu
is a viral infection.
Is a viral.
Right.
For hour 4.
Lung, sinus, throat.
So here's the reason.
Marks.
Zithromax is a relatively benign drug.
Yeah, it says no known really side effects.
Right. So if you call up and say, I don't know if I have a cold or pneumonia or a bacterial thing, I give you a Z-Pack. It won't do any harm if you have the flu. It won't do any good. If you have a bacterial infection, you'll feel better. So they say, well, look, take it for 3 days. If you feel better, you know it was bacterial. If you don't feel better, it's the flu. There's nothing else we can do. Fluid, bed rest.
Is it called home vesters?
And pyretics, Thailand.
Gotcha. That's all. I need a few things. I'll ask you in a minute here.
So
it's your phone number, right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
1-800-44-BUYER.
What are you doing with HomeVestors?
An endorsement.
Oh, you're an advertising. Okay.
You want to buy something?
No, I know the two guys that run HomeVestors.
They're pretty good.
Yeah. Did they ever come on the show?
We haven't had them on yet. It is just joining.
Online at AmericanFinancing.net.
We'll never have them on. They're lying. I'm just kidding.
Well, I'm going to bring him in. We're going to have a Liars Club.
You said, did you say about zero res?
Real easy.
Tom would never say that about zero res.
I gotta have you guys come out and clean my. It's about time.
Oh, again, your water.
I love it. I use it, man. That's all we use is zero res.
Hey Tom, if you go, there's a YouTube site you can go on. It'll give you. I think the CDC. There are 5 home products you can buy that are 99.99% effective in cleaning the surface of the coronavirus.
You know what's interesting? Those Clorox wipes.
Yeah.
You know how long you have to keep that surface wet for it to be effective?
No.
You can't just wipe and it be done. You've got to keep that wet. I think it's for like 20
Ugly Houses
seconds.
accurate?
How long?
We buy uglyhouses.com,
right? That's what it is, but he said he kind of would want to wait a little bit to use that right now.
Well, what do we say about him?
Or you could say, I guess, do that.
I want to know.
Number out.
Okay, what's the phone number?
1-800-44-BUYER.
800-44-BUYER. Oh, that's a good number. That's a good number. Wow.
Who are the guys you're dealing with HomeVestors?
Aria and Mark.
Dewey, Cheatham, and Howe.
Mark is a guy I talked to here.
Okay.
Dewey, Cheatham, and Howe. Is this a franchise?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Where's Mark? He playing hooky?
Colorado Springs. I don't know why.
Right.
Nobody knows why.
We told him to get lost.
Yeah.
Okay, now I need bullet points. I'll go get them myself.
Or that there.
Oh, do you have this on? Can you send this to me?
I sent it to you.
Okay, good.
Email. It's the second email I sent it to you there.
Okay. Let me get this.
So they've sold over 2,500 homes in Denver.
Yeah, they're
do you have that?
They're moving quite a bit right now.
Oh, I got it here. HomeVestors. I have 2 of them here.
Do the second one.
Not the one. Oh, wait, hold on.
That's the second email I sent. I sent it to you.
Okay, hold on. There's 2 of them. So you sent one at 11 and one at 11. Oh, the second one, right?
Yeah,
okay, I got it.
The most recent.
Tom Martino here. 303-713-TALK. Keep your calls coming. We have a whole hour to go. We're talking about a lot of stuff. I want to go to a real estate attorney here, Craig Chambers, and ask him about disclosures. This is one of the most common problems we deal with, real estate disclosures. That's what people complain about when they buy a house. You know, we have warranty issues with new home builds, and you have all kinds of issues with title insurance now and then when it comes to liens or stuff. But wouldn't you say, Craig, one of the #1 problems that homeowners face when they're buying or selling is disclosure?
Yeah, it's a pretty common problem.
Now, Rick, you say that is it your sister?
Yes.
She was going through paperwork in the house and found, beyond a shadow of a doubt, the seller knew there was asbestos in the home, and on the disclosure statement said no, absolutely no, right? Or did they say they don't know? What did they say?
Are you aware? The language, if I remember, said, are you aware of any hazardous materials? And then in parentheses, it said asbestos and a list of other things. And she checked no.
Okay.
But as they said, go ahead.
Okay. I mean, what else? What else is there? That's plain and simple.
And then there was a letter that stated from the company that we will be removing the asbestos from the bedroom and the kitchen where the remodel is, but will not be removing asbestos from any other location. So my sister bought the house under the impression that she wanted to remodel the bathrooms, but now they have to get the asbestos out of the bathroom.
I understand. She's running into a damage as a result of a non-disclosure. Are you saying that if it was disclosed, she would not have purchased the home?
If I can't answer that. I would say she'd probably continue looking for other properties if she knew there was going to be an asbestos issue of the house.
Well,
Okay.
But did your inspector find the asbestos as well? I mean, did she know about it through the inspection, or she didn't?
She found out about it through paperwork, or did she verify it, is what he's asking. Did she verify it's actually there?
Well, she had an inspection when she bought the house, I mean.
Hold on.
After
Rick, hold on. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Craig.
Okay.
Attorney, go ahead, Craig.
Well, usually when a home is inspected, an inspector will go through the house and they'll say, you know, these pipes have asbestos on them, or this has asbestos.
I get you. So
if she found it on her own, the seller doesn't have to. It's not as important that the seller disclosed it.
I get
the
you.
seller should have disclosed it, but if you knew about it, disclosure's not as important.
So bottom line, Rick, did her inspector inspect the house?
Yes, but the drywall, the asbestos is in the drywall, not on exposed pipes or anything like that.
It's not something that could be discovered with a visual inspection.
No.
What do you think?
It was embedded in the...
Well, they should have disclosed it. It's a latent defect. That's what they're required to do.
Yeah.
And they were specifically asked in the seller's disclosure if they knew of any asbestos, and they lied.
So I want to know what he should do. This is something we'd often talk about. We'll call you back, Craig, or get you back on right now coming up if you can hang, or we'll call you back. I'd like to know the steps you take with a disclosure. Do you write a letter? Do you ask him to do something? And then what after that? I'm Tom Martino. Also, ZeroResDenver.com. We're going to have a special for carpet cleaning coming up, and that's important.
You hear a lot of So it's actually, you have to keep it visibly wet for 5 minutes with Clorox wipes.
What?
5 minutes.
Wait a minute. When I wipe something with a Clorox wipe,
so they're worth
it has to be visibly wet for 5 minutes, and some products up to 10 minutes. Visibly wet to disinfect.
How about your water?
Huh?
How about your water?
Your empowered water? The A water, I don't know the length of time it'd have to be on there.
Which one is your sterilizing water?
A water.
But you use the B.
We use the B water. But it still has some properties, but
the A
water.
The A water, I understand. That's the
it's the acid water.
Yeah.
Why don't you give that out for free? You just gotta get rid of it.
We've got to be careful on
we have a
the
machine that makes
agreements
both. We have a machine that makes both A and B. The Kagan one, you saw it. I think it's pretty good. We use that A water all the time to clean.
What do you use the B water for?
Drinking, right? Isn't it? Which one do we drink?
B water you can probably drink.
But what?
Yeah,
that's
the A water.
It goes through a filter. And
but you know the B water, if you get it high enough, it's a great cleaner. The B water is actually a better cleaner than the A water. Like B water, if you use that to clean windows and stuff.
Well, that's what you use for your carpet.
That's right. It cuts through
Why
dirt.
do you
But
not
we're at
use,
200.
why do you not use the A?
We do use it for pet treatments. Any urine in the carpet, that kind of stuff, biological issues.
So on my machine, the one that comes out for drinking water,
that's going to be more of an alkaline, higher pH.
Yeah. And then the one on the back, they say to use for cleaning, right?
I bet. Well, it depends on what. It depends on what's coming out your back. I don't know what's. I don't know the system.
Well, it separates. They call it A and B.
A and B water. Yeah.
So which one are we drinking?
The B water is what you're drinking.
Okay. And that's
the B water actually is a better cleaner than our A water.
Okay. But I mean, so our B water we don't use for cleaning. We use our A water.
Try to use your B water for like cleaning glass and stuff and see what it does.
So this water though, Stephanie swears by it. This B water, it's alkaline, right?
It should be.
Why is it good for you?
I don't know if I could answer all of that coming out of their system because we don't drink our water.
And what do they do?
But our water is at 225 parts per million.
What is this machine doing to make that water?
I don't know.
It's got a filter in it.
I thought it put some type of
it's electrical.
Saline, then it runs electrical through it. And
yes,
separates
it's a little unit, and it does. You can see. It says right now. So it says not ionized, whatever it's doing when it's on.
So it's got to put some type of sodium in it.
And their electrolysis process.
Well, we don't. Have, we have a filter media. I don't.
There's something in the filter that's causing being able to separate that water.
Yes,
Kagan is highly rated, you know.
Yeah.
It's a good water.
Because if you say you had distilled water, you could not put electricity through it.
But all I know is
distilled water is a.
I swear to God, it's.
Does it taste good when you drink it?
Yes, and it's. We can tell the difference.
You can tell the taste, really?
Try to clean with that water on mirrors. Now the A water, you've got to be careful putting A water. Like if you've got, it looks like gold plated, like down in your sink and stuff. It can take that off. The A water can take it off if it's strong enough. I don't know how strong the A and B water is in your machine. Like when you smell our A water, if you like stuck your nose in it, it'll freaking knock you back.
If you come in next month, why don't you bring a jug of each? I mean, that would really be good, and then market and stuff, and then let's taste them. Each one. No, I see
the A water, we'll put the A water in our mouth. If you have canker sores or anything like that,
really?
Or cuts, it'll heal cuts like that.
So, is it an acid? Your A is an acid then. So, that'd be like in the morning, you could use it almost like as a mouthwash and switch it around. Or...
You could, but
you're right, it might be hard on the enamel.
Because you can feel it when it's done, you feel like super duper clean.
But like say if you had a canker sore or something
it'll
like that.
It'll kill a canker sore like that. Sore throats, I'll gargle with it every 20 minutes.
Wow.
And it'll kill a sore throat like that.
And it'll last for like 2 weeks or
potency declines. You want to keep it out of light and in a cool place.
Right.
And so if it's in the sunlight stuff, it'll kill it pretty within days.
I'm really surprised, like say, restaurants don't use it not as a disinfectant, but just as a cleaning on there to help the disinfectant.
You've got like EAU, they sell machines to like Coke processing plants, chicken processing plants to spray and kill the bacteria.
Exactly. And they don't sell it as a disinfectant.
No, they do.
Oh, they do?
They do. Yeah.
They do.
We can't go and sell it. Like if we went and tried to do that, that would violate our agreement with EAU.
But how's the EPA allow it to be said it's a disinfectant if they haven't done the testing?
Well, they have there, right?
Okay.
We as Zero Res on our application can't make those claims.
So I got a question on that. Is like when you put the electricity, how much electricity you got to put in there to say
okay, 1100 millivolts.
For how long? For how much?
I mean, it's producing it within seconds.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's kicking out at 3 gallons a minute, pumping it in. We've got a 35,000 or 3,500 gallon tank that it's pumping in 3 gallons a minute into the tank.
So you can't say, well, this, like say Tom, does Tom got better A water than you?
No, he doesn't.
Okay, so it's all the same. So it's all the same.
No, we've got better water than he does.
Okay.
Because of the power electricity that we're putting to it, the soda ash, how we're cleaning the water before it goes
is what's giving you allowing electricity to go through it.
I believe so. I don't know.
Because it has to, like say, distilled water, electricity will go through it. It's not a conductor.
And so the potency with which, like if he brought a cup of his A water and B water, and we brought a cup of the A water and B water, I guarantee that, like if you tested the millivolt charge to the water, we've got a meter that tests the millivolt charge to it.
pH, right?
Well, we got a pH tester and a millivolt. It'll charge how much millivolt, how much electricity is in that, like to that water, and you'll get 1160, 1190 millivolts in that water when you put a meter in it.
Oh, really?
Or you put a pH reader to it.
So if I got my electrical meter, my ohm meter, and put it in there.
I've never tested that.
An ohm meter?
Yeah.
I've never tested
because
that.
Because he says
resistance?
Yeah.
Because that water has an 1190 millivolt charge to it, the A water does. And it will also have a pH of about a 3 or a 4. But it's not like a battery that has a pH of a 4, right? It's a physical change, a physical creation, not a chemical creation. So I can swish that water in my mouth, kill bacteria. Like when our kids were babies and they'd have a butt rash, we could spray that on there a couple times, and it would take it away and be gone. It would take it away and nothing flat. Or you take paper towels and you dip it in A water and use them as wet wipes. It would take the butt rash away and nothing flat. Or a cut. You get cuts. I'll wash it with A water. It'll clear cuts
Again,
up.
you said 1100 millivolts.
1190 millivolts.
So that's 1 volt.
So you should be able to test it.
Yeah, I'll bring in. Next time he comes in, he's gonna bring in a couple jugs.
But the A water, if you ever get sore throat, Tom, your A water, you should be able to gargle with it and help clear up the cold sore throat.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK. 713-8255. Let's talk. I got to plug in my earpiece. All right, now, What happens when you have a non-disclosure issue with real estate? You find that the owner knew about a defect but did not disclose it. What do you do? I want to know the steps. Now, Rick says his sister bought a home and she saw paperwork that indicates there's asbestos in the house. And now she wants to remodel. It's going to cost her a lot of extra money. Had she known about it, she would have negotiated differently buying the house. We will talk about that with a real estate attorney. And then there's a home inspector who wants to say something. Craig Chambers,
yes,
attorney at law, could you tell us the steps you would take if you found a non-disclosure issue?
I would first get a bid or two on the damages, so you know what's at stake, and then I would write a letter requesting mediation, because that's required in the real estate contract.
Okay. You would request mediation, and then the mediation process is trying to come up with a solution. Can you go to court if you can't come up with a mediated settlement?
You can't go to court until you try mediation, because it's required in the contract.
But once you try mediation,
and fail, if the mediation fails to satisfy or resolve the case, then yes, you can go to court.
But first you can write a letter saying, hey, help me, right? I mean, it's going to cost me a few bucks. Can you help me?
Yeah, first you write a letter and say, I found, there was asbestos in the property and that you knew about it. And,
yeah.
And my damages are X amount, and I expect you to reimburse me X amount.
That sounds all logical. I'm sorry, Brian's up. Hold on, Brian. I'm going to get you in a minute here. I want to take Rick. Rick, did you guys make any demands at all yet?
No, not yet. We're just getting our proverbial ducks in order.
All right.
And I want to make sure her expectations are realistic. So my other question is, can we ask for hotel stays if they have to work when they start doing the remediation?
Yeah, what's considered part of the damage where you don't get ridiculous, Craig?
Well, the problem you have with asbestos is it's only dangerous if it's airborne. So generally speaking, if you don't touch it, it's just something that you're unhappy that it's there. But
that's what I'm getting at, Rick. Rick. Does your sister have to remodel? Is this something she was planning to do?
Yes, and if we're saying, I know asbestos, as long as it's not touched, we're fine. But now the whole plan was we wanted to remodel and modernize the bathrooms and the living space, and now she's handcuffed on being the potential to do that with the additional costs.
So that's where the damages come in. And
you have to get an estimate from the asbestos contractors how long it would take to do the remediation for the asbestos, and probably then you could ask for some compensation as to where to stay during that limited time period.
You do realize that you're going to have a certain amount of home expenses, Rick, and meals and all of that anyway in life. So you don't get 100% of temporary living with any claim. Because there is an expense to living and into living in a home and having power and utilities and food and it's not extra cost, not all of it. So you just have to be realistic. But the first thing you do is make a demand of something after you get some estimates. But it's not going to be an easy thing, Rick. And how much was she going to do in dollar amount? And how much more is this costing? Do you know?
We're not at that point yet.
Well, you have to quantify, or you have nothing. And as far as quantifying goes, and from my experience, I'm going to tell you, if you don't have more than a $50,000 loss, court will very seldom pay for itself, ever.
But we're going to mediation first.
That's good. That's good. But I'm talking about court. If you don't have a $50,000 loss, I don't see court paying off. Okay. I mean, it's people listen. Very few people are actually experienced or have a history in litigation, and I do. And I will tell you that of the dozens of lawsuits I've either, instituted or defended in our work, it almost never pays, period. Let alone, what I'm saying is, if you have extraordinary damages, go for it. But man, if you're looking at $50,000, don't even waste your time. That sounds crazy, doesn't it? Sad but true. Thank you, Craig Chambers, attorney at law. Brian is a home inspector, wants to talk about this. What did you want to say about it, Brian, about asbestos?
Just to elaborate just a little bit, is it as a home inspector or property inspector, the client, you should inform your client anything prior to 1985. There's a possibility that asbestos may exist in the home. So that's what I typically do, is just let them know that it's a possibility that there's asbestos in the home, and if they do any remodeling or changing of anything, they're going to have it tested prior to the remodel.
Yeah, so that's prior to what year?
1985, typically.
85. Here's the deal. You can't always depend either on the seller, because they're not always forthright. And even if they do know, they can say they didn't know. And unless you have proof like Rick does, it's hard to prove. In fact, this is one of the toughest areas in law, in real estate especially, to prove. And this is the number one problem. You didn't disclose this. You didn't tell me this. You didn't tell me this. Viola, what's going on with you, Viola? We have lines open at 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Hi, Viola. What's going on?
Hi there. I'm calling for somebody that I don't even know. My daughter works. My daughter works for downtown Boulder, and one of her coworkers is home with a very bad upper respiratory infection.
Yep.
So he went to an urgent care, and the urgent care said you should be tested for the coronavirus. So he hadn't been to his own physician in quite a while, and when he called them, they said, "We don't take your insurance anymore. You'll have to pay us $4,000 to be seen." Now that's
wait, hold on.
Yes.
$4,000 for what?
I don't know. That's what I don't know. Like I say,
That's
calling
not true. There's no office visit in the world for $4,000.
I was so outraged. I've been in the medical field for 40 years. I'm retired. I'm an 82-year-old.
This is a person with a upper respiratory infection that called a clinic.
All he wants is a prescription to go to be tested. So I was so outraged because
where did he call that told him it would be $4,000?
You know what? I can't answer those questions.
Viola,
I don't know.
by the way, I don't believe it. It's going to be one of these urban legends. It's not true.
It's a telephone game.
It's not true, Viola.
All I know that my daughter says this is a very reputable man. He's very sick. He was so upset he didn't know what to do.
So Viola, you're getting it from
third hand,
fourth hand, or third hand. There's no way.
All right.
In other words, Viola, we can't react to it because you don't even know where it was. We have to have something more than your daughter heard it from a guy who heard it from a guy. We would love to look into that, but nowhere, no how, anywhere would anyone say, we don't take your insurance. To write a prescription for the test is $4,000. Will not happen. Has anyone had this experience? And by the way, that's not unusual. You know how many people I know that are not feeling good? And they've all asked the same thing. Should I be tested for the coronavirus? So, who should be tested? That's a good question. Who should be tested? Deputy Doc, I want you to answer that coming up. I'm Tom Martino.
Weekdays 2 to 4. The situation.
It's funny that she even buys it. That she even believes it.
What?
That's funny that she even believes it and would call up.
No, it's funny, and then she's a healthcare worker.
Yeah.
She wouldn't get more information than that.
Right. My daughter heard it from her cousin's friend's uncle whose sister is working in a hospital. You know, that kind of thing. She read it on the internet, so it has to be true.
Darn doctors. They're
What
screwing
was your
us.
practice?
I was an OBGYN.
Oh, you were? Okay. How many years did you practice?
I got out of medical school in 79, so from 79 until 2000 and about 15.
2 years old when you graduated.
What?
I was 2 years old when you graduated.
I was 31 when I graduated medical school. When I started medical school.
Oh, when you started?
I was starting medical school at 31. I worked with computers for 10 years in the stock exchange.
Why did you decide to do that at 31?
Because I always wanted to be a doctor and I wasn't mature enough. I told you, I flunked out of college 4 times. Yeah.
See, anybody can be a doctor. Then he flunked
No,
out
so, and then I went.
Did you do medical school in 4, 3,
4,
5?
4, like everybody else. But I when I took my pre-med stuff, I got straight A's on everything. I got in the 98th percentile on the MCATs. And so when I went for my interviews, they said, wait a second, you flunked out of college 4 times, and you got 98 on the MCATs, and you got an A in all of your biochemistry, organic chemistry, genetics, micro. What the fuck is going on? And I said, well, I was 15 when I started college. It was,
you were 15?
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
How'd you graduate so early?
I wasn't mature enough.
How'd you graduate so early?
Well, no. My mom lied about me getting into kindergarten. And then in New York at the time, they had something called the SP, where you could do junior high school in 2 years instead of 3 years. So it's basically 2 years ahead of my time. And 15 is way too young to be in college.
Oh, absolutely.
And I was a fuck off. I mean, I spent half my time playing poker and screwing around.
At 15, you were doing that?
Yeah.
Let's talk credit card debt for a minute. If you feel you're carrying too much of it, you're not alone. The average household in the U.S.
And then, you know,
how do you relate to the older people like that?
I couldn't. And then I really thought, you know, high school was a breeze. And then I thought, well, shit, you know, I literally tried to read the Western Civ book, which is 2,000 pages, the night before the final. I'd never gone to class.
Listen, these guys obviously will not pay market value for your home.
Right, but they don't want to make that.
Well, I know, but
you know, there's a thing about it. There's no.
But in this market, who the fuck do they get to sell like that?
Remember, there's no realtor fees. They pay all closing costs. You don't have to fix up the house or clean up the house. It's a lot, you know. Like I got written down there. This is, you know, for relocations. You know, they need a fast relocation. Inheritance home. You know, like people are.
They don't do inspections.
Well, they'll do an inspection there to give it there. With repair issues, problem rentals, divorce sales.
No matter what condition it is, the home is in. No matter what condition your home. No matter what.
No matter the condition of the home.
No matter the condition of the home. No matter.
Right.
Thank you. No matter the condition.
And they'll close it on as quickly as you want. If you want to close in a couple of days, you want to close in weeks.
Quick close.
Or extended close. You know, you want to stay there a little extra.
But every deal is custom.
Right. But there is no cost to the seller.
More than 500,000 people find work
1-800 44 buyer.
Yeah, we buy ugly homes with houses. The house, the signs just everywhere. We buy ugly houses.
630 KHOW.
It's really for that quick cash sale.
Hi, Tom Martino. Do you need testosterone? You may not know if you do or not. Go see. Find out. You know, the Hormone Bros are a bunch of good guys, man. They have, there's 3 of them, 3 brothers, the Hormone Bros. It started out as a joke. They're healthcare providers, and they have a clinic, Revitalized Health, and they offer way more than BioT, testosterone pellets, but that's a great delivery system. And they also do estrogen, and they do thyroid treatment, and they do other things, cosmetic procedures, thread lifts for just a few $100. We really like these guys, and we're getting good results. Don't they have a mobile now? They do.
Yes, it's great, Tom. I've been there 3 or 4 times. I go on Wednesdays.
Really? What do you
And
go
you look
for?
marvelous.
What do you go for on Wednesdays for different things? I mean, you don't have to tell
I'm due
us.
for my pellets, and then
Okay.
in the meantime, while I'm in the lull, I get a testosterone shot just to keep me even until I get my pellets.
Okay, do they do they do BioT out of that motorhome?
They do. That one you have to schedule ahead, but if you're just going in for some T shots or nutrient
and where do they
injections,
set
you
up
can
their
walk right
mobile?
in.
Where do they set up their motorhome?
Right at, and it's like a trailer, and it's all decked out just like their office inside. I love it.
Oh, cool.
And it's right at the big Taj Mahal, Castle Rock, Douglas County Justice Center.
And
It's
they
great.
go there once a week.
They're there every Wednesday, and then the other one they're at 470 in Peoria. It's like the Colorado Crime Lab or something like that.
Yeah.
And they're there every Tuesday. But I love that they're in Castle
And
Rock.
if you want to find more, you just go find them, thehormonebros.com. Thehormonebros.com. Good people. And really have good services. I like these guys. All right, so we've been talking about the coronavirus quite a bit. And we do know that it is a little more serious than the common cold. Of course it is. It's got a 3% so far death rate, but a lot of people are compromised that get this. And it attacks the lungs. It actually attacks lung tissue. It's not just an infection of the upper respiratory system, but attacks the lung tissue, which can compromise the amount of air being brought into your system, oxygen, which of course carries nutrients. So it does compromise your whole system by attacking the tiny sacs in your lungs. And the transmission rate is high, 2.5 about so far, so each person can infect 2.5. And, you know, it is a little more, we are reacting a little more to this, though, than other outbreaks. And I don't know why. I can't say why. Is it because we have just become overreactors on everything? If you think about us now, we are overreactors on almost everything.
Well, it's a pandemic, which scares people.
A pandemic. What does that mean?
Which means it's all over the world. It's not
just
it's
in
not
one area.
localized.
Okay.
And I have the CDC recommendations for who should be tested.
Okay.
If you want me to read it.
We wanted to talk about who should be tested. And what is the test? A swab?
It's a swab.
Like a strep test in the back of the
basically
throat?
like that.
Okay.
So it says the CDC recommends if you feel sick with a fever, which is important, cough or difficulty breathing, or have come in contact with a person known to have the virus, or with somebody who has been in an area that is epidemic for the virus, be tested.
Okay.
So if you haven't come in contact with
But
anybody,
if you're not sick or showing symptoms, there are people that just want to know, and that's ridiculous.
Exactly.
And that's a waste of resources.
Right.
Okay. And so where do you get tested in Colorado right now?
I don't know. I don't know whether you need a.
There are going to be some drive-up labs,
Right.
but
I'll research. I don't know the answer to that right now.
I
Tom.
believe you have to have something written by a doctor, right?
That's what Grant just said.
Yeah, you need to have a prescription for it.
For the test itself.
So you can't just go to your doctor, your primary care physician, and get tested?
I don't think they want you to go in. I think they want you to call in.
Your primary care.
Right.
Right.
And this is going to be a boom to business in general because people are going to be going to the doctor if they feel anything.
That's the dumb part about it.
Yeah.
People freak out about anything and go test. So
now we were talking about cleaning carpets and cleaning the house. You know, cleaning carpets, forget about viruses, okay? And we're not saying it's going to kill all germs or anything, but you absolutely have to see the benefit in being clean, no matter what. Washing hands, washing surfaces around you, your kitchen, and especially your home. And of all the things in your home, nothing absorbs more allergens, germs, bacteria, viruses, anything. Nothing absorbs more in your home than carpet.
that's a great thing, right? It filters,
giant
it
air
traps
filter.
it, and then you can clean it out. That's a good thing about it. Upholstery or carpet. It's a good thing.
Well, it's good because you can clean it out.
That's right. It traps it, acts as an air filter, and we can come in and clean it. No soaps or shampoos.
And people, there's nothing more disgusting than remnants or there's no residue. There's nothing more disgusting than that. I don't know. I've seen carpets, and these guys will tell you, and I've seen it when I had them come into my home. That's when I decide I'll never have anything else. The first couple of buckets you get is from all the other cleanings through the years. I mean, you pick up soap and crap right away.
We're gonna pull a lot of that out. If you've had it done a lot, it's gonna take a time or two to get it all out, but it's an improvement each time we clean. You know, we go in and clean carpets people have had for 25 years, white carpets, and they just say, my carpets have never been this white. They just look one, and we're not adding brighteners, we're not adding crap to it, we're just cleaning it.
And you'll never have a residue, so if you keep having them come back, you'll never have a residue. Nothing will ever be in your carpet.
So it's right. Besides carpet, tile and grout, upholstery, rugs, showers, particularly a place that gets a lot of germs. We can clean shower enclosures, granite countertops.
Honest to God, I'm such a freak about the water. I had him do my helicopter. I really did. We
got in trouble for doing that, by the way.
I know, because technically, when you do business on the airport, you have to have a special permit,
yeah.
You know, I mean,
but it cleaned up extremely well.
Oh my God, it was so dirty, and I thought, you know what? I wonder what Zero Res would do with this. And I said, Shane, I promise you, I want to pay just like any other call, and maybe a minimum, because I mean, crap. I mean, it's a few square feet. I mean, you know, I said, so let's just make it a small area. Well, I forget how we did it. It was more than fair. And I said, come on out. I really want to see it. I could not believe how dirty it was. And then I said, I want to see you guys do this, do my hard surfaces and the leather. And they did that.
You stretched your carpet, and now your helicopter flies better because your carpet's cleaner.
Now, by the way, grout.
We can make helicopters fly better.
No, they do grout, and they do tile. Now, is that using the empowered water on that stuff?
It is. Yep, we use power. We use that fluid on it. We use that to clean any surface that we clean in the home.
Well, I had an email that said, I have no carpets, but we have engineered floors. Now, this is why you can't.
We're not going to do. No,
you don't do any wood or engineer, but you can do waterproof vinyl.
Yeah, we don't deal with a lot of vinyl or VCT.
So you'll do stone.
Yep, any natural stone.
And you'll
do clean and seal.
Fabric.
Yep.
And upholstery.
Tile and grout.
Right. So
and any natural stone. But
what do you do? Like three? Can you still do 3 areas for the? What is the special right now?
3 areas for $99.
Gosh.
Now, we do have a water processing transportation fee that we put on each job, $14.
Okay.
But the 3 areas are $99.
And is it $14 no matter how big the job is?
Correct. Okay. It's $14.
All right.
We get charged a lot for producing the fluid at our facilities.
Yeah.
And for dumping it back down.
$14 isn't worth it.
$14. But 3 areas for $99 and areas up to 200 square feet. And it's the right way to clean.
Okay, so you will do the same with tile, 200 square feet, 3 areas.
No, the tile's a little different.
How much? Well, how much? Like
it's usually $1.25 a square foot to clean and seal tile and grout.
You seal it too.
Yep.
That was my question. You can't, if you go in and someone says, I haven't sealed my floors in 5 years, will you seal it first?
Nope. No. You don't want to entrap the dirt. You're going to clean it first really, really well.
And then seal it?
And then seal it. Now, we're going to make sure there hasn't been.
Or do you come back?
No, we seal it that same day.
So the water won't do any damage if it hasn't been sealed because you're taking it out.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah, we come in with a tile tool machine.
Okay.
And clean through that.
Now,
and we dry it out really quick on the tile and grout.
There's a drive-up.
I had to seal. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
No, I was just talking to him. So I had to seal all the marble and tile in my house every 5 years.
You do showers too?
We
seal
do.
Those? Okay.
Yep.
Oh, that's great.
So if someone hasn't had done it, it'll clean it, take the water out, and then you'll seal it for them?
Yep.
Well, because that was a pain in the ass sealing all
my No, you can't do that yourself. I mean, why would you bother? So anyway, by the way, it's ZeroResDenver.com, 303-471-5150, 471-5150. Okay, there's a drive-up Corona test center. Is it just for Corona, right? So what do you drive up, fill out a little form, and they swab you and then get back to you, or is it instant? Do we know? Deputy Grant?
I believe it takes some time to get the results back.
So you don't
But
get
you have
them
to
right.
have a doctor's note before you go. Do not go without a doctor's note because you will not be helped.
Now, that's the other thing, a doctor's note. What does that mean? Does that mean a prescription or what?
It's like just like that lady was saying.
You have to have an order, a doctor's order, basically.
Right.
And so far in Colorado, to my understanding, they're doing presumptive tests.
What does that mean?
They're saying it's presumptive, and then they send it to the CDC to be confirmed.
Oh.
And some other states are skipping the process with not sending it to the CDC and confirming it in state. And so far in Colorado, it's a 2-step process.
Do they have to be confirmed?
Yeah.
I wonder why. I mean, you know, a virus is pretty easy to test for, isn't it?
Well, they do what's called a swab test, yeah, but they have to send to a lab to determine if it's the coronavirus.
But why do they have to have that then confirmed? That's the part I don't understand.
Well, that's what Colorado is doing. I don't know why they're doing it.
And they say the results should be back to you within 72 hours.
Right. 3 days.
72 hours. Okay. And that's the drive-up Corona Test Center on 8100 East Lowry. But, oh, yeah, there's a medical building out there on East Lowry out there. And it's probably, they set up in a parking lot maybe? Anyway.
Yeah, and Tommy, they said there's no bathrooms, there's long waits, bring water, make sure you're comfortable while you wait in your car, and make sure you have your photo ID.
Wow. I wonder what happens in the long run. What's going to happen? A vaccine, do you think?
It's going to take about a year to 18 months to get a vaccine.
And that's just because they have to grow it?
Well, they have to develop a vaccine.
I mean, but
I've heard that it's coming faster than that.
No. The latest is about a year to 18 months it takes to develop a virus.
And a vaccine will be a vaccine, a real vaccine. Will they include it? Like, what's the flu vaccine? It's a vaccine as well.
Absolutely.
Okay. Will it be included
And what
in
they do is they try to predict what the vaccine is. With the flu, they try to predict what strains are going to be prevalent and make a vaccine for those particular strains, which is sometimes it's more effective than others.
303-713-8255.
This is Denver's Talk Station with Tom Martino now. Dan Kaplis today at 4, 6:30 K8.
And see what they say about.
How long is do I have?
About
now?
what?
I'm going to call up a couple of my friends who are primary care docs and see what they're doing as far as people calling them up and what they're doing as far as recommending who gets tested.
Yeah, the process.
I'll find out what the process is.
Hey Shane, so if someone asks about this, they're going to ask it. If they have more than three rooms, I like it where you said, well, $14 and just keep that.
Yeah.
You know, if there's more than 3 rooms,
$55 an area after that.
Gotcha.
But our special they're running everywhere else is $119 right now for 3 areas, and so for the Martino show today, it's 3 for $99.
So you're saving $20, which is big. It's 25% off, basically.
There you go.
20% off.
What?
20% off.
That's what I said.
Oh, I think you said 25.
I said 20, 25.
Okay.
You know, statistics, it's like.
It's like what?
Well, you know, if you have a 10% discount, it's always, you can do statistics, you know, whatever you want.
Oh, I see. How do you flip the numbers around?
Right.
Yeah.
I am ready for some grub. I'm hungry.
You want to hear a big show pet peeve of mine?
Uh-oh.
When you call me for a phone number and you don't have a pen to write that phone number, like if you're calling for a phone, they're calling for your phone number.
Oh.
Have your pen ready.
They can memorize it. It's like Jack Reacher.
That's
I don't
those
need a
older
pen.
folks.
Just give it to me.
You want to know what
You're right.
my
All the
biggest pet
kidneys.
peeve was? Somebody would call up, like, let's say you and Shane were married. Shane would call up and say, my wife is having these problems, but I say, well, if she bleeds what? And she's right there. Put her on the fucking phone. Why do I have to talk to you when your wife is standing right next to you and she's the one with the symptoms?
Yeah.
It drove me crazy.
Especially in your industry.
Well, in anything. Even
Your
if,
doctor industry, right? I mean, a woman should
but
be
you want to
talking.
talk to the patient. You don't want to talk to a third party.
Third party intermediary.
Right. Well, Suzanne, how much is it hurting? Oh, Suzanne, let me ask you. Just give me the fucking phone.
Give her the phone and let me
Right.
ask her directly.
Exactly.
Yeah. Makes me
I do
crazy.
think it's way over.
That used to drive me crazy.
What's that?
You say it's worse than the common cold, of course, but is it worse than the flu, the common flu?
Well, yeah, it is. Apparently it is.
Even if it is, it's still over. It's getting blown out of proportion.
Our son bought, it's a Corona shirt, but it's a teddy bear, and it says Rona season. Like, just to make fun of the Corona stuff. He said his boss bought a cruise, since it's so cheap right now, like to go in the future. I don't know.
The only thing is the quarantine. If you end up getting quarantined.
Well, no, but if people want to cruise for next summer.
Oh, I see. It'll be over.
Yeah.
Well, I said once it hits
summertime,
I think it'll just die its way out.
Well, it's not that summertime. It's the fact that
people are outside.
I just wonder if we
it's
book
like in
that-
China, the
the
rate is
flight
going
or the
down.
Cruise, how
Because all
far
the people
into
that can be
future you
infected
book that
have been
with the
infected.
prices right now.
So there's a natural declination.
They're going to put restrictions on that.
So
And say, hey,
South Korea was going down.
Yeah.
Now it went up again.
Really?
So, yeah, it just went up to today. But the reason they got the big one was because that one.
Yeah.
Big one.
Tom, do you want me to do that tonight? Call some of my primary care doc friends, find out what they're doing, what the process is, and let people know the actual.
Anything we can get.
Okay, this will be the actual thing. If you call up your primary care doc, what is he telling you, and where do you, and what is the? I'll find that out.
Let's take advantage of all our connections.
Might as well.
Did you hear in England they're giving volunteers $4,500 to get infected by the coronavirus?
Really?
Yeah, for a test.
Wow.
I'd do it.
Well, you should, because you're in good health.
Plus, you'd like to say, we already talked about this.
Right.
Plus, you're under the doctor's care.
Exactly.
You know, that's to me. And if you're going to get it anyway.
Right. But you may not get it.
Right.
You may be one of the 75% that have no symptoms.
Right, but if you're well, I wouldn't have, if they gave it to me, I wouldn't have symptoms either, though, right?
Well, you would have symptoms if they gave it to you. You might have symptoms. You don't know. That's the whole point.
Also, they say it's how much you're getting at a time, right? Is that?
Well, with anything, the higher the virus load, the more severe the illness is.
Oh, really? Because it hits everything right away?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's like anything else. If you get hit with 100 million viruses as opposed to 100 viruses, the reaction's going to be, 1,000 times stronger.
Turn off my sound. Turn off my sound.
That's the point. If you get hit with a small number, your immune system can overwhelm it. If you get it's like it's a battle. You have more antibodies than virus, or vice versa.
So my dog has got this skin autoimmune disease, and so they gave pills for that suppresses immune. Now they take the baby shot.
All right, I have to tell you about this because we have just recently become associated with them, and we're pretty blown away. They're called Home Vestors, and they'll buy your home. Now, obviously, if your home is in perfect condition, at the top of the market, and you want every penny, it might not be for you. But you know what? About 80% of the time, they can find a deal that'll make you happy, no matter who you are. But you want to call them. If you want to sell your house quickly, no stress, no tire kickers, no uncertainty, no commissions, no fees ever to you, no cost. No matter what condition the home's in, make a quick close or an extended close. Every deal is customized to you. So if you want to be paid right away and move on, go ahead. If you want to wait there a while and live there, write a deal. Every deal is custom. These are real people, and it's a true thing. It's not a scam. These guys will help you. Maybe you're being relocated, or you inherited a house, or you got a lot of repair issues. Or maybe a rental you just want to get the hell out of, right? How about a divorce? Whatever you need, they can do it very quickly. Now, it's not for everyone, but what will you lose by calling? Absolutely nothing. Here's the phone number. 800-44-BUYER. 800-44-BUYER. You're going to recognize this website because it's like the signs you see up. WeBuyUglyHouses.com. They're the real deal. Again, you have nothing to lose. 800-44-BUYER.
This is Dave Logan for the law offices of Dan Kaplan, a serious law firm for serious cases.
Who did you say you were dealing with on that?
Mark? I don't know his last name.
Mark? The different one.
There's different franchises.
Yeah, there's 5 in town. The biggest one is Mike Hoff and Sver Jensen. Run with them.
Hey, Tom Martino here. Way open line. Wide open lines. You can get right through. Do you have a comment, a question, an observation, an agreement, a disagreement? Whatever it is you need, call us. 303-713-TALK. 713-8255. Deputy Doc was just talking about the symptoms to get tested. Now I'm suddenly feeling a flush and
sniffly.
Get out of here, Tommy.
No.
I'm out. You guys have a good day.
Yeah, I know. But, here's the thing, really. I've never seen people more afraid of being sick. And again, in the real scheme of things, it's not that deadly. Now, I'm not trying to make this, don't worry and be cavalier with your health. Never. But something about this is the part that I find puzzling. Something about this has caught our imaginations and our fears more than anything. Doc, you have to know that. I mean, you know that it's not worth the hype it's getting.
The news station's trying to sell ads, Tommy.
Well,
I think it's because of the frequency that the number of people infected is scaring people.
And how quickly it's growing.
Right. You don't hear about the flu because we accept that people get the flu. No one gets worried about it. This is something new, and this is something that is affecting so many people and the economy that people just don't understand it. Look at the run on toilet paper. I keep telling you, diarrhea is not a symptom of this disease, and people are hoarding toilet paper.
First of all, what is it about toilet paper right now? That
I don't know because
people are fighting over. What is it about toilet paper?
I guess if you get stuck in your house for 14 days, they think that you can't go out and get toilet paper. It's called Amazon. You order and it drop ships it to you.
Not only that, but the frequency of the use doesn't change.
You're saying, well, do you think people are hoarding that because they're afraid they're going to get diarrhea? I don't think so. I think it's what Shane said. I think people are afraid they're going to be stuck at home, and if they're stuck at home, there are certain things they're going to need.
Well, yeah, but how much more do you need you don't need more than normal is what I'm saying.
Right. And I usually have a good supply.
Well, good. I'm glad you do, Tom.
Although my daughter does work at UPS, and several people have bought hand sanitizers, masks, and they shipped them to China. They were buying supplies and shipping them to China because people in China couldn't get them.
Oh, you mean to be nice?
To be nice. So
not to make a profit.
Was it like one of
yes.
like a charity thing?
I believe so. That's what Michaela had said, that people were bringing stuff in and shipping it across. So,
hey, Craig, what's going on with you?
Hey, let me get you off my Bluetooth here.
Thank you.
Hey, my car is a 2015 Subaru Outback.
Okay.
And there's a recall on them now for an emission leak.
I got the same thing, Craig.
Yeah, it's as I understand it, it's not a serious one.
Oh, it's serious in my car, and because it blows through the heat into my cabin.
What blows through the heat? The
emissions.
You mean actually CO2?
Well, I can smell it.
Huh.
If I'm driving, it's fine. It's when I stop at a red light, that sort of thing. And I can eliminate it by using Recirc, but I usually only use Recirc with air conditioning. Regardless, what I wanted to ask you, Tom, was, so my buddy has the exact same year, make, and model as my car. His is under recall. I ran my VIN number on their website. Mine's not. So I called Subaru, and they said, well, your car's not recalled. And then I think what's working against me is I have 140,000 miles on my car.
No, they go by VIN number. They don't. Sometimes they go by mileage, but did they say you're out because of VIN or because of mileage?
VIN.
Right. So it wouldn't matter. I mean, they didn't know how many miles you had.
So I called Subaru USA, and they said, well, we can't really do anything, but we do want to help you. Why don't you get the car diagnosed and then let us know what the diagnosis says? So do you recommend going to the dealership for that or somewhere else?
Well, for the problem you're having, that's going to be that has I don't think it has anything to do with the recall. I think you're just recognizing it. But that's usually a vent problem in your system. And sometimes it's where you fill up with gas, that venting problem at the filler neck. It can be at the fuel pump. There are problems that will make odors back up into the car. I don't think it has anything to do with the recall. The emissions the recall is talking about, you're not going to smell.
Well, I've experienced the same issue in my friend's car that is recalled. And the recall letter, which I have a copy of, states that you may smell it.
So,
inside your cabin of your car.
What I'm trying to find, okay, it says recalling certain models. It says, hold on, for the turbocharger air intake duct. Is that what you're talking about?
No, sir. I don't know where it's coming in. did some research. I know what the recall problem is, and because I'm having the exact same
what I'm asking is, do you have? No, I know. If you're having this, we've had this happen before, where there's a service bulletin or a recall, and somebody has a similar vehicle with a similar problem, but they're saying, "I'm sorry, you're not covered by VIN." In those cases, manufacturers have extended, with a courtesy, some of them, if you can demonstrate you have the problem. In other cases, they don't. Then you have to go to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration to have that done. And you know, they will only extend it if they hear from a lot of people. But it never hurts to call there. The TSA, that's the one that spearheads all of the. It's part of the Transportation Department, and they spearhead all of the recalls. So the dealer where you bought it, did you buy it new from the dealer?
I did.
This dealer's going to want to keep you happy. What is the big deal? How much does it cost to fix?
About $1,100 to $1,200.
And what do they do?
If I have the same problem, which is yet to be seen, it is a flex pipe that was hooks the catalytic converter to the tailpipe that goes back to your mufflers. So the symptoms are smell, emission leaks, and loudness. And I'm experiencing it is louder, especially upon startup, because it's leaking, and you can hear the exhaust.
Yeah, but the leaking emissions you won't be able to tell visually, right? I mean, you're not going to see it.
Correct. So my question to you is, if I have the same problem, I think you've already answered that. I asked the dealer.
No, you go to the dealer where you bought it always, and you say, look, I want this extended, or you talk to a regional representative. There is no magic sauce for it. They don't have to do it. The VIN number is approved. They submit the plan to the NHTSA. It's the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. They submit that to be approved. But that doesn't mean they don't extend it. There have often been recalls that started out with a smaller sampling, and then they've extended it. And your dealer where you bought it can get that done on a one-up basis, or you can get it done, if the manufacturer applies for more cars.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by ExpressPros.com.
Still slow on eastbound I-70 between the I-76 split and Sheridan because of some road work that has the center lane blocked through there. And westbound I-70 in Bolton approaching 6th Avenue back up to
it was crashing. It's even more now.
And seeing the usual
It was at 900 this morning. Now it's at 1,300 down.
Westbound I-70
It was up to 1,900.
And then northbound I-75
It was?
Yeah.
The other day, huh?
No, today.
Today? Oh, it was.
Yeah, I'll tell you what the low was.
We'll cool off to the low 40s overnight tonight. And then tomorrow for your Thursday,
it's like I say,
cooler with a high in the mid-50s.
Heads up, Tommy. The guy holding, he called us about being evicted. I guess he was trying to buy a house and he was getting evicted, so we put him in touch with Frank Duran. They just closed on a house. He is so grateful. So Frank got him closed fast.
Good.
So anyway, I don't remember the call, so I'm assuming that came in when Daff was doing the show.
That is great.
ExpressPros.com.
You sell.
You know what I wanted? You know Tom's thing about, he wanted to get that thing where you could rant about social media. You know what I wanted to rant about? Phobias. Why do they call it homophobia or xenophobia or
he was talking about
homophobia?
the same thing, or hate.
No, but the point is,
I know.
you
what
don't.
you're saying.
You're not afraid of them.
I know.
No, if you're a homophobe,
They say you're transphobic. Transphobic.
but you're not afraid. You're not afraid of trans. You hate them.
I think you're afraid to be one.
No. When they say xenophobia or homophobia, it's because you hate that group. But you're not afraid of them, which is what a phobia is.
I've had a
Well, they don't care, right? They're just trying to get their point across.
No, but I'm saying,
home.
but if you call someone a homophobe, that means they're afraid of homosexuals.
Yeah.
But they're not afraid of them; they hate them. So why are you calling them a homophobe when they're not afraid
But
of
in
them?
some cases, it's not hate or fear.
Yeah.
It's just a different frame of reference.
Right, but a homophobe technically is somebody who hates homosexuals.
That's true.
But language these days, and the meaning of words,
It's
gone
fluid.
I know it's
gone
fluid.
to hell in a handbasket.
I know.
Doesn't
You know the
mean
most.
anything.
You know the most closed-minded, undiverse people in the world are liberal progressives.
Yes.
And
Well,
yet,
look at the whole free speech movement.
They're
on
the
campuses.
most strictly biased, closed-minded people I have ever seen in my life. It's my way or the highway.
Exactly.
I agree totally with that.
You're only diverse within my definition of diversity.
Yep, exactly.
Right, look what's happening with free speech on campuses. It's insane.
Oh, no.
I heard today, and I haven't confirmed
that is
this.
insane.
Yeah.
Harvard
Or
and
campuses are
Princeton
supposed to see
told their students
do
to
everything.
clean out their dorms and do not come back after spring break.
Where's that?
Well, I know a
Harvard
lot
and
of them have.
Princeton.
Oh, okay.
I haven't confirmed that.
So my son is at CSU, and he
Yeah,
has
what did they
spring
tell
break
him?
next week. I don't know. He hasn't said anything as of yet.
So I don't know if that's true or not, but
I know I did. I hear that Harvard. I know Harvard.
they said don't clean out your dorms and don't come back
So they
until
cancel the
we
rest
get
of the
this
semester?
figured out.
Wow.
So here, if it only lasts 2 days, if they just left the dorm empty, it'd be good by the time they got back.
Yeah, but then someone who's contagious reinfects it.
Oh, but that's a new person coming in.
Or hey, wait a minute. When somebody goes to WeBuyUglyHouses.com, they don't get the local guy, locally owned.
Right. They don't get but that number is local.
Well, I know, but then I shouldn't get out. If they go to that website, how does he get
I thought
credit?
it said don't use the
Okay,
website.
but Mark said here's the website. So, I shouldn't give out that website.
Well, I'll talk to him again. He wanted to hear the first one. I'll send it to him.
Well, do you punch in a zip code and then it takes
That's
you
probably
to
what it
the
is.
website?
There's a chat thing.
I bet you 10 to 1 it is.
Well, why would you use them instead of, let's say, Frank Duran?
No. Okay. This is to buy your home immediately.
Right. Or sell your home immediately. So, okay,
Right.
so say you just inherited a house and you're
Yeah.
living in Michigan.
1 minute.
Yeah.
You want to get rid of it.
Okay.
Without clearing everything out, or say you're a hoarder or whatever,
Okay.
stuff, or you don't want to fix it up.
Right.
/visit to learn more. The Heartline Study. Know your heart. Modern
that's what it is.
today has the products you need.
So I wonder what the difference would be if let's say, as an experiment, I called Frank and said, what do you think my house is worth? And I called these guys and said, what would you give me for my house?
And also, they have no realtor's fees. They pay all closing costs. So you're going in there. That's what they offer you. You get 100%.
Right.
Or if you go through a realtor.
You get right. But I wonder what.
But you're right. You're exactly right. It probably won't be. And they're.
MileHighEstatePlanning.com. You may have heard Blake Harris on my show earlier. He is the expert we use to help you make decisions when it comes to your estate and your estate planning. He was talking about taxes paid on inheritance, which you don't pay, but on qualified plans, you sometimes have to pay taxes. You have to pay on taxes that were not paid ever by the person giving them to you. There are so many issues that come up on a day-to-day basis. First of all, you should have an estate plan or at least a will. You can protect your assets. You can know what's going to happen to your assets and that your kids won't squander them. You can make a plan for their education. You can do so many things with an estate plan, but nothing without a plan. And not all plans have to be elaborate. MileHighEstatePlanning.com, and Blake Harris, you should contact him immediately and get something set up. Free night and weekend appointments, free consultations always, and he only charges for what he actually does for you. That's MileHighEstatePlanning.com.
Ask Alexa to play 630 KHOW. Then you can hear Ross Kaminsky tackle the liberal left tomorrow morning at 6.
Getting 630 KHOW from iHeartRadio.
Denver's talk station.
On your smart speaker.
Available on over 2,000 devices.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. What's going on, Anthony? What's happening? Hello, Anthony.
Hi, Tom.
What's going on?
Hey, I called you back in January about being unfairly evicted from my apartment, and I let you know that we were approved for a house, and you put me in contact with Frank Duran.
I remember that saying, don't make a mistake. Go with Frank Duran, the real estate man.
Oh, and you could not have been more right. We closed on Friday, and we took possession of our house today, and the service that they gave Frank and Mike Palmer was amazing. Like, we couldn't even believe it.
Did you feel like you, honest to goodness, did you feel like you were the only customer?
Oh, without a doubt. They would call to check up just to see how we were doing every week.
I know it. It's crazy. So did they help you identify a house?
Yeah, they helped us shop for a house. They helped us with closing, and we were not easy customers because we had the chaff alone, and it's a little bit more difficult in this market. But man, they found us something so quick, and we couldn't believe how great they were.
I'm so happy that you found Frank because he's a good guy, man. And you're a living testimony. Nobody asked you to call. That's wonderful. Thank you very much, Anthony.
Yeah, absolutely.
When do you move in?
This Sunday.
Oh, that's so cool. Hey, about home inspection, did you find any problems with it?
No, not at all. They
good.
Took care of everything for us.
Well, that's good. I'm really happy. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com is who he's talking about. 303-920-1622. So that's good. As you know, we have Deputy Doc here, as a retired doc. He's going to find out a lot more information on testing and process, and if you get it, what you should do. Do you have to quarantine yourself? Is quarantine ordered? I heard that. Well, I know that it's a state of emergency right now in Colorado. Did you know that?
I will check up on that.
The governor, I believe, declared a state of emergency.
Yep, he did, and that's how they get federal funds.
So that means, I mean, they can order, in a state of emergency, they can order you to do certain things. So if you get the coronavirus, can they keep you from going to work? I think they can. Can they order quarantine? So find out if quarantines are ordered for those who get it, okay? And we'll find out more and have it on the show tomorrow directly from the local docs in the area. The real deal, not a lot of hype. I'm Tom Martino. And don't forget ZeroResDenver.com. ZeroResDenver.com. And save all your problems for me.
Shane, that couldn't have worked out better.
Thanks. You guys are awesome. Sorry I popped in on you.
No,
but
it's okay.
No, actually, it worked out. We had a cancellation. We had no one.
They were stuck with me and Dan. That's what he
I added to the list. And